What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this edition of The Seven. I, of course, am your host, Donovan Sharpe. Allow me to introduce our esteemed panelists. First up, the man in New York City. They call him the Black Batman, or they call him the Black Man of Gotham City. My man, Mr. Lucario. Lucario, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What's popping? What's good, man? I'm chilling here. I'm getting ready for this show, man. You know, I always try to stay away from these topics, but I always love to come so y'all can get the blame. And I can say what I say, and I'll be like, it was Donovan's fault, it was Minister Japp's fault, it was Steve's fault, and it was Myron's fault. So I'm glad I could, place the blame on y'all. But I'm chilling. I'm good.
Listen, man, I'll take the blame. I'm gonna tell you, man, black women throw errors at me all the time. I'm more than happy to take the blame. Next up. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Damn, half the panelists are in relationships with white girls. I'll be damned.
You see?
There we go. See? So that's the kind of shit. That's that shit that's gonna get me banned. Next up is my man, Steve the Dean Williams. Steve, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
No, I just brought the man maxi pad today, dog. Cause ugly. It's gonna get ugly. So we're gonna make sure some of these guys are bleeding.
Listen, there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings, but I'm telling you what, if you can look past the feelings, and women, you can look past the feelings, you might learn you something tonight. You just might learn you something. Next up is the unofficially ordained minister of the streets, the man up there in Sharpe, Minister Sharpe.
Man, what's good? What's good, man? Appreciate you, man. Let's do it.
Hey, man, real quick, listen, I'm going to come to you with this real quick, Jab. You have recently crossed over to the light side. So
what?
Like, I mean, is this one of those, listen, is this one of those deals where it's going down for real, or are you going to keep it light? Like, what's up?
You know, we're we here at the church. We are equal opportunity employer, and we're taking applications, and we're just trying to make sure that we find the best suitable candidate for the job. It's not about race. It's about and body shape and booty density. The density of the pussy.
Look at check this out. So Jab is already letting us know he's trying to keep it for YouTube. He's trying not to get banned by proxy, which is listen, good strategy. I like that. I like the strategy. That was funny as hell. Last but certainly not least, the man down there in Miami who just came from a boat party, Myron, 4.5%. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's up? I had to leave when I realized that we brought all the girls. So screw those guys. So I'm here now.
Oh my goodness. Listen, Solo TV 84 is going to be a little bit late. Kevin Samuels is on the way. He had a previous engagement, so those guys will be here shortly. So, a couple of quick things. We will be opening up the phone lines later tonight. I know that I said that we're not going to be doing phone calls anymore, but for a topic like this, got to open up the phone lines. That's the first thing. Also, with these super chats, if you support one of us, you support us all. All of the super chats are divided equally among the panelists, so we greatly, greatly appreciate your support. So let's go ahead and get right into it. My introduction is going to be this. A while back, I did a video on YouTube called 3 Uncomfortable Truths About the Black Bachelor that most people are afraid to talk about. Well, where is that video, Donovan? Why isn't it up? Well, funny you should ask. It is not monetized by YouTube. Right? Myron and I broke down a video yesterday about 2 girls talking about swallowing NBA loads like 7 at a time, literally eating shit, getting butt fucked by one NBA nigga while taking a rapper's dick in the mouth. That's monetized. But the minute I start talking about how to avoid these types of women, now it's a problem. So listen, this is what we're up against. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and moan. This is just what it is. This is what it is. Like men, we have to adjust, we have to adapt, and we will see what happens. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce tonight's topic with a short little snippet from that video. Here we go. Number one truth about The Bachelor nobody wants to talk about is that Matt James is going to piss off a lot of black women. Interracial relationships have always been a controversial subject, at least in America. But let's face it, the interracial relationships that get discussed the most are those between black men and white women. And one of the main reasons they're such a hot button topic is because black women positively hate it when high value black men choose non-black women to be their girlfriends and wives. Again, most notably white women. But there's an important fact that completely flies in the face of the white girls are taking all our men argument. And that is the overwhelming majority of black men are in relationships with black women. 94%, in fact. So if only 6 out of every 100 black men is in a relationship with a non-black woman, what's the problem? I'll tell you. That 6% is the top 6%. In other words, the best black men are choosing not to be in relationships with black women, and that's their problem. Black women don't care about the Pookies and Ray Rays of the world. Those guys are a dime a dozen. They care even less for the brothers that make a decent living, have good credit, and don't have any baby mamas. But when men like Young Diggs and other high-value, wealthy men forego relationships with black women for their fair-skinned competition, they lose their minds. Don't believe me? Check this out. When billionaire Robert Smith announced that he was paying off all student debt for the entire class of 2019 at Morehouse College, a historically black university, the black community said that his $34 million pledge was tainted because he was married to a white woman. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a thing. The black community at large, which is run mostly by black women, shame and disparage black men who have relationships with non-black women. Interestingly enough, the ABC show Scandal, which revolves around a romantic relationship between a black woman and a white man, was very popular among black women. They were also noticeably silent when former bachelorette Rachel Lindsay, who was the first black bachelorette, chose a non-black man in the end. They also didn't raise a big stink about the fact that only 11 of the 31 suitors during her season were black. This double standard will apply to Matt James when he starts to whittle down his choices. Heaven forbid he choose a non-black woman in the end. He will be all but exiled from the black community. Okay, so now that we have our opening salvo, I'm going to come to Lucario with this first because, and listen, I'm not trying to set you up here.
Now let's do it.
All right.
I'm ready.
Guys,
I'm waiting for this all my life. Go ahead.
Okay, let's do it. Guys like you are noticeably silent about topics like these, and for very good reason. I mean, let's not sit here and pretend that there aren't consequences for talking about this stuff.
Right.
So what are your thoughts about the fact that the highest value black men, again, the top 6%, are choosing to date non-black women, and what in your mind defines a high value male? We're going to go around the room with this because I think we all have different answers.
Right. So I think first of all, what it is it's really, most of it actually is coincidence. It's the circumstances. So for example, when I first dated women who were not black, because all I was doing was dating black women since I was like 16 to about like maybe like 21, 22. Then when I moved into a neighborhood where it was a mixture of people, you understand what I'm saying? I was able to date white girls, Asian girls, Indian girls, whatever. So based off of the surroundings, I had other options. So what happens if you have these high value guys who are actually doing a lot of big things, when they move around, they're in circles where they find white girls, Asian girls, black girls, they will find any type of girl. So they have more access to those women. You see what I mean? And so now because they have more access to those women, it's more likely that they're going to run into a chick who's not black that they're going to be feeling. You understand? But as far as talking about what's the high value guy, it's just really a guy who gives value out, meaning that he can produce, he can execute, he can make things happen, and he can move and shake. And so what happens is, because he's like that, he usually ends up becoming in those circles or getting in those circles where he can find other types of women. So I think most people think that you'll have these black dudes who are high value dudes, and they're just like searching for the white woman, which I'm sure there's some guys like that, but it's not, I don't think every dude's like that. I think it's more so just because they're in the situation, they find those type of women and they're able to get with those type of women because they're in that proximity. You see what I'm saying?
So, in your opinion, Solo, Jesus Christ.
That's my twin brother. Go ahead.
In your opinion, Lucario, what? And again, I'm not being facetious here. Yeah, we're being all kind of jokey about it and tongue in cheek.
Right.
But real talk. If you had a sister, if you had a black sister who said, "Listen, Lucario, I'm tired of being passed up by black men," what would you tell her that she needs to do in order to become attractive to high-value black men again?
Well, the thing is, it's all about attitude, man. It's all about how are you coming to this guy? Because a guy like that, when he's dealing with women, he knows that he can get a number of different women. So what happens is like, which woman is going to be the easiest for me to deal with? Which one is going to be not give me any lip? And not to say that, and this is the confusing part, because people think it's just black women who have that attitude. No, there's white women who have that attitude. Asian women, I've dated all of them. You understand what I'm saying? But what happens is that you have black dudes when they get into situations with white women, you understand what I'm saying? They're in a situation where they're with white women who are in situations where they're meeting those type of white women who may not have that attitude off the rip. And those white women know, oh, if I want to keep this black guy, let me give him that energy that he wants and needs, and I'll play that role. Versus some black woman will be like, fuck all of that. I'm gonna just do what I want to do, and you should just deal with me anyway. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. You know what I mean? Okay,
that makes sense. Jap, let me come to you next. Let me come to you. Oh boy, yeah. Listen, listen. Put on your mask, guys. We're about to cook. So, in your mind, again, I'll pose the same two questions to you. How do you define a high-value man? Number one, and number two, what can black women do to make themselves attractive to high-value black men again?
Okay, high-value man, has direction, has purpose. Is living for his legacy, living for his last name, treats himself like royalty, has things going, definitely has a discipline, let alone the dick discipline. I always teach my students about dick discipline, and saving money, just basically not being a nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your average man, like it's so crazy at this point right now. Just it's so easy to be a high value man, just not have kids and a job.
Right.
This is like bare essential shit right now. Like these women are so fucked up right now. They're picking felons and things of that nature. So I just say a high value man is a man that's got principle, purpose, and on his mission. What was the second question?
The second question is, if you had a sister, or if you were good friends with a black woman, and she comes to you and says, "Jap, check this out, man. Like high-value black men are passing me up. I don't know why. What can I do to become attractive to high-value black men again?"
Oh man, it sucks, man, because my sister's about to be a single mom. It's over for her. But first things first, man. Remain valuable. Women have to understand your value is not that degree. Your value is not really that job. Your value is your beauty, your youth, and your virtuousness. So if you can stay looking good for a long time, you can stay valuable. If you can stay without having nobody's baby, you'll definitely be valuable to a high value man. And being feminine. Right now, it's to the point where most black women are, little bitty men in their minds. It's like they're like, to be honest with you, like the average black woman is the closest thing to a transsexual. When I started dating outside of my race and just culture, it made me look at these women like that's when I came out with the transsexualized energy.
Right.
Because now we're starting to look like boys in wigs with titties to me. You know what I'm saying? Because now I gotta compare them to an actual girl. So it's not the fact that she's white, it's not the fact that she might be Mexican or Latino. She's a girl. And I didn't know what girls were because I was dating with these niggas with titties. So we're gonna walk them down slow. We're gonna walk them down slow because I got a lot to say. I don't want to. I go on a tangent with this shit.
You don't want to fire off too many bullets, Steve. I'm gonna come to you. You are in a long-term relationship. You are married to a white woman. So, In your opinion, as we welcome Kevin Samuels to the panel, we're going to come to him. After Myron. In your opinion, what defines a high value male to you, according to the book of Steve the Dean Williams, and what can black women do to become valuable to high value black men again?
Okay, the first thing about a man that's high value is that y'all Jap damn it took all my thunder like shit. Okay, well, I worry about what people fuck what people think about him. He gives no fucks. He takes no fucks. Personality, I mean, what makes him high value is that he sees the big picture. He thinks critically. He's aggressive. He's assertive. He has direction. He speaks with transparency. He doesn't bullshit. He doesn't beat around the bush. He doesn't walk on eggshells. It's his world. He is the sun, and everybody has to gravitate towards them. Everybody can't just sit next to him. Everybody can't just be with him. They've got to come with a certain amount of respect, a certain amount of discipline, a certain amount of focus, and a certain amount of compass that will say, okay, you're worth my time. A high-focused man doesn't love mom, loves his parents, but he will not let his parents define who he's going to be and how he moves about in this world and stuff. So, I mean, there's a myriad of things. His personality, his character, his self-awareness. I mean, a lot of things make him up. But at the end of the day, like Jab said, he knows without a shadow of a doubt the most non-negotiable thing is his name. He will never move or change who the fuck he is for any goddamn body, period.
Very good. Excellent. Well said, Steve. Before we get to Solo TV 84, let's get to Myron Gaines. So, Myron, I'm going to pose the same question to you.
But can I give you the 5 things, the system real quick?
Oh, but listen, by all means. I didn't know he had a... Go ahead.
Yeah,
you got
yeah. If you wanted, if my sister came to me and told me she was like all fucked up over a guy like Jab's sister was, I love the other Jab. But tell her is, look, hey, look, I would go to the computer and look up The Good Wife that came out May 7th, 1955. And I would tell her to study that motherfucking up and down. It's called The Good Wife's Guide that came out May 7th, 1955. Then the next thing I would tell her is the 4 S's. You got to learn how to submit, serve, shut the fuck up, and give some sex.
There we go. Wow. Listen, that is a very long and distinguished list. I'm sure Steve will add to it. Yes, his shirt does say Maxi Pads. So
Man Maxi Pads, yes.
Man Maxi Pads, yes, there we go. We had to get that straight. So Myron, before we get to Solo and then finally Kevin, in your mind, what defines a high value male? And again, high value doesn't have anything to do with race. It has to do with high value. So according to Myron Gaines, what is a high value man?
A high value guy is a guy that doesn't really need anyone else for sustenance, a guy that is self-sufficient, a guy that operates on his own, basically autonomous of any woman. You know what I mean? A guy that's high value understands that a woman is there to basically be there to help him, but he doesn't necessarily need her. You know what I mean? And I think, and he's on his path regardless. It's pretty much, hey, I'm flying the plane in this direction. If you want to be my flight attendant, cool. But if not, then there's other flight attendants that will work for me. So get the fuck out of here. So that's that's the reality. That's what I define as a high value guy.
So if you had a sister, right? If you had a sister who was a sister and said, Myron, the fuck is with all these high value niggas passing me up? What can I do? What can I do to attract one of these guys? What can I do to get one of these guys to not only notice me, but to want to commit?
So real talk, man, I do have a sister and she's in med school right now. And I had this talk with her a year ago. So I'll tell you guys exactly what I told her. I gave her the cold, hard facts because she's about my skin tone. She, you know what I mean? My parents are from Sudan, so we're African American. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah, you really are African American.
Yeah, like I speak Arabic and all, but like definitely still African American. So I had this conversation with her, and I had to tell her the real talk. Like, listen, you're going to become in the 1 percentile of earners in the United States. Okay, you're going to become very successful. That means your pool of men, acceptable candidates, is going to be very small. Now, let's add on to the fact that black women, again, studies show this, they're the least desired race across all dating sites.
All right.
Men. That's a fact. Like we can't even argue that, because here's the thing about dating sites. Dating sites are very honest about people's true intentions when it comes to dating. I'm gonna say that again. Dating apps are very honest, because if I'm at a bar and someone approaches me that I'm not necessarily attracted to, I'm still gonna be incentivized to be polite. We know most women are not confrontational. They're not combative. A lot of them, they don't want to deal with, a guy possibly punching them in the face. So they're going to be nice to you at the bar. But on an online dating app where she has anonymity and most importantly, she has privacy, she can choose and may select the way she wants. So online dating apps have pretty much proven without a shadow of a doubt, African-American women are the least desired race. It's fact now. It is fact.
That's right.
So I had to tell my sister, understand that you're going to already be selective of the men you deal with. And on top of that, the men that you're looking for aren't necessarily going to care about what you bring to the table financially. And on top of that, they're not going to be chasing women like you. So you need to know that the odds are stacked in your favor. And you either got to find a guy now when you're younger, or you're going to have to deal with the consequences of your success and probably end up single. And she didn't like it, but she was like, okay, you know what I mean? And Big Brother's right. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's just when you understand the numbers and you literally look at the facts, like I know people are going to watch this show and be like, these guys are talking smack about black women, all this. No, we're not talking smack. We're giving you guys the grim reality. And Kevin does it every night on his show. It's awesome. But anyway,
we're going to get to Kevin. We're going to get to Kevin.
Definitely. I'm interested to see what he's going to say. But the thing is that the grim reality is that the odds are stacked in your favor as an African-American woman in the United States, because most African-American women want to date African-American men. And African-American men, however, will date outside of their race. So they're playing a game where it's very tough. And then you talk about a successful African-American woman, which I have a couple of them that are friends, like optometrists, whatever. They're literally struggling to find men because their taste is very high and they're looking for a specific demographic of man that doesn't necessarily need to date black women. So it's tough for them out here, man. So they got to accept the grim reality that you're going to have to be open to dealing with more men. You're going to have to be open to dating down. And quite frankly, you're going to have to be very polite, very submissive. And, this combative attitude is just not going to work.
Very good. Before we get to Solo, let me read a couple of super chats here. Cowdenicus with the $5 super chat says, first super chat to throw a few dollars to help soak up some female tears tonight. That is not our intention. Maybe not. Unique 79 with the 5 British pound says, from Steve to Mr. Lucario, the doors being open to the rest of you. You are all lions that are changing men's lives here in the Serengeti. Salute. I greatly appreciate that. Also, big thanks goes out to somebody sent the 99-cent super sticker, but I can't seem to find it. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, so Solo TV 84, before we go to Kevin Samuels, Solo. So again, 2 basic questions. According to the book of Solo TV 84, what is a high value male, black, white, or otherwise? Second question is, what do black women have to do to become attractive to high-value black men again?
Yeah, certainly. And basically, a high-value man is somebody who is unapologetically him, very self-aware, always striving to improve. He's a man that knows his purpose. He's highly sought after. Not only is he self-aware and is able to be his best, but he's also able to get the best out of other people.
Yes.
He's somebody that has what's known as social proof. We always talk about networking here. He's got that, right? People want to be around him. He's the type of person that is about his business. He wants to be better today than he was yesterday. And he has he's motivated. He's got discipline. I mean, there's a lot of different traits that come with that. But most importantly, he's the type of person that he is focused. He's great at managing time, and he doesn't deal. And this is very important. A high value man does not deal with people that will bring him down negatively mentally. So he's always got a positive outlook. He doesn't surround himself. In the 48 laws of power, I believe it's law number 11, misery loves company. He doesn't deal with people just to lollygag. The people that he deals with are people that help him to excel. So, a lot of high value men, and I'm in a social circle right now with, young black men that are in their 30s. One is a doctor, engineer. One is in cybersecurity. Another one is a guy who's in drop shipping, and he makes over, $500,000 a year doing that.
Oh, shit, man. There's big money in logistics.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are men that are very confident, and they take, they know how to have fun, but you know what? They don't hang around people just to hang out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They hang around people that are on the same wavelength as them. Mm-hmm. No, what was the second question? Something about black women?
Yeah, what do black women have to do? Because black women used to be, black women had cornered the market on black men. Somewhere along the way, the top 5 or 6% of black men are dating outside their race. In other words, non-black women. So what can black women do to swing the odds in their favor again?
The main thing is, and well, first they got to watch Kevin Samuels, but we already know that. Shout out to Kevin. But with a lot of black women now, they have lost their feminine energy and they're just in their masculine energy. And so a lot of black women too, they don't want to compete. You got to understand, high value men have women coming through left and right. When I'm around these guys, they have no issues getting women, whether it's white, black, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. And these are like top-notch women in regards to looks, personality, all of that. So for black women to get into these circles, they have to, number one, be able to compete. And number two, these are the type of men that they're not going to take bullshit from women, meaning that if women think that they can do the same shit that they do with a regular guy, these guys was like, say, okay, bye. And then they'll just go on to the next one because they have so many different options of women that it doesn't bother them. And so these guys aren't pressed when it comes to female attention or sex or anything like that, because there's always women willing to hang out with these guys.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, let's go now to Kevin Samuels. Now, Kevin, you have recently, like, your ascent and your success is astounding. And your success, obviously, is because you have talent, you look the part, you drop good game. But most of your content these days is predicated on exactly what we're talking about today. So now I pose the question to you. According to Kevin Samuels, what is a high-value black man? And question number 2, what can black women do to become attractive to high-value black men again?
All right. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the members of the channel and the audience. I'm going to start off with some things that, number one, high value has been with us for eons. I've popularized it as of late, but it is by no means my invention. And if you look back over this human civilization, anthropologically, sociologically, the cream has always risen to the top. We've always had high value men. It's irrespective of race, irrespective of culture. And here are some basic principles that across any time you can always define the guys who are higher value than other guys. And it started with, number one, money. You can't be high value homeless. And money is a massive factor there. And this is the number one line that pisses a lot of men off because it's a very firm line. 1984, 1985 is when we first started hearing about this thing called 6 figures.
Yes.
Prior to that, it was never in the lexicon. That's $100,000. But back in those days, minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. I'm going to leave it there. Where's the starting point in high value today? For simple math, it's $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month. So basically about $120,000 a year. And that's Dallas dollars, Atlanta dollars, Houston dollars. If you're in the Bay Area, in New York City, you have to adjust accordingly. Again, this is a number, and a lot of men get upset about it, but no women are knocking themselves off for a high value $40,000 a year dude. Number two, guys, these are not my rules. Length of time. You have to have made that money over a length of time, at least 3 to 5 years. Anybody can have a good year, a good 2 years, but length of time shows consistency and ability to get reproducible results and outcomes. Anybody can hit it now and then, but when you do it consistently, it's no longer a fluke. Jeremy Lin will not make it in the Hall of Fame for a couple of great games. That's why this consistently factor, this length of time is there. And the length of time goes across several other categories. Next, high value men are like a fraternity of men, and you have to have acceptance by the group. There is no giving yourself a nickname. There's no real raising my hand and saying, I'm high value. No other high value men need to see that guy is like us or has the potential to be like us, and we recommend him into the group.
Okay.
I mean, that's just part of it. High value men hang around other people, have their own lingo. And like I said, it is really a skull and bones fraternities. These things have always kind of been with us because The next part is the network. And this is the next part that pisses a lot of guys off. They're known high value loners.
Ooh.
You have to have a network, meaning that if all 7 of us were, let's say 12 of us were sitting at a table and each one of us were each one of us had about $10 million in the bank. And
Yeah.
let's say Steve had a network of 2,000 high value contacts. Now your network has to be of high value men and then others. It does not have to be 100% high value men, but it cannot just be lower level subordinates, meaning you can't be a CEO and say, well, I got 1,000 employees, and because they're not in your network. You got to have important Rolodex. So if you're all sitting at the table with 12 other guys and everybody has anywhere from 200 to 2,000 different contacts, and then somebody comes to the table and says, hey man, I got millions too, and they got no contacts, what is everyone at that table going to say? No thank you, because he's trying to leech off of our network. He's trying to take our network. You have to bring network is another, and here's another part. Network shows your ability to work with others,
right?
Interact with others, get things done. See, you may be a high earning individual contributor, but if you cannot work well with others, it's going to be difficult to lead an organization. Family is the first network, and that's another part. All right, then the next part, visibility. Look, man.
Okay.
It needs to be LinkedIn level. I mean, today the buzzword is entrepreneur. If I say, if I ran into Donovan and I said, what do you do? I'm an oncologist at Johns Hopkins. If I ran into Steve and said, what do you do? I'm a personal injury attorney in Miami. If I ran into Jap and he said, you know what do I do? Oh, I'm an accountant at Ernst Young. Okay. And then you run into me and I say, what do you do? Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. What did I tell you? Nothing. You don't know what the fuck that means. You don't know what it means. It needs to be LinkedIn level, meaning high value men are transparent because people look at them. Your money needs to come from sources that people kind of understand, not flipping that out of your trunk. And this is another thing that ticks guys off because we know these things. The men who have separated themselves as higher value than others have had all of these things. Visibility. Another thing, visibility is something that women love because they want to be. This is the important part about keeping women attracted to high value men. There's always going to be men that make more money, but a man who has a larger network and is visible will always have access to the hottest of women because they want to be in the mix, in the lifestyle around it. This is something that Hugh Hefner showed us with the Playboy Mansion up until the day he dies. High value men don't care why you're around. They just care that you're there. Ooh. The last thing is utility, usefulness. You must be being used. Okay. If you're not being used, you're not of use. I love to be used because that means I'm useful. High value men are useful. Now we decide who uses us. You decide whose utility. Again, part of the network, all these other kind of things. But having it hoarded all to the side just to yourself, I got my resources and my this and my that and my network contacts, but no one can benefit. No one can work with you. That's not valuable to anyone. At the end of the day, the market principles is the market decides. The market has always been outside, and the market decides which men are higher value and more use than other guys. Now, does that mean that because you're not a high value man, you're not valuable? No. Okay. Does that mean if you're not a high value man, you're not useful? No. But I've heard people try to talk about teachers are high value. And I'm like, come on, we don't even believe that because we don't even pay our teachers a damn thing. You know what high value is? High value is rare and hard to get by definition. And it's supposed to be because the rewards are extremely high for high value. Now, the second question is,
yes,
what do Black women have to do to repeat the question?
What do Black women have to do to be attractive to high value Black men again? Because it's not like they never were. They just aren't anymore.
This can go.
Several things. One, they got to get their fitness together.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
boom.
You can look at it. I didn't say it's causation, but correlation. As long as you've seen an increase in weight and a decrease in marriage, High value men do not deal with unfit women. Look at a high value man and look at the woman he would choose after a divorce, after a breakup, and that's what he probably would have chose to begin with: fitness and attraction, because he can get everything else: fitness, attraction, and then the whole thing about being agreeable. High value men are men at the end of the day, and we want sex, sandwich, silence, and submission, cooperation, agreeable. We're pretty damn simple. But so many black women don't believe high value black men exist. Number one, if you do exist, you're gay or you're with a white woman. So that's a big and I think one of the things of my program is it says no. High value black men do exist. They are out there. Can you qualify to get the man you say you want? I did a broadcast that Solo actually mirrored on his channel, and I told the woman I was talking to, high value men don't give ultimatums. We just tell you what we will and won't accept. You can decide whether or not you want to comply and compete. So they're going to have to, like I said, get the fitness together, and at the end of the day, they're going to have to compete. Compete, because Becky, Marisol, Mylene, Anu, they're all competing for their high value men and for their racial high value men and black high value men. Look at what the Kardashians have done. They have become rich off of getting with high earning black men. Why? Because they put a plan together.
Yep.
And they realized that they had to do the things that these guys wanted. So I'm gonna leave it right there. So that's my very narrow definition of high value. I don't expect it to be everybody's definition, and that is not all. You can have other modifiers, but in general, if you look over history, you can look at men who are royalty, heads of state, whatever. The top men of any society, they've always fit this kind of parameter. Last thing, and I'll let it go. On my channel, I was on a channel the other day, and they were talking about the difference between Nikola Tesla and Edison. And they're talking about, Tesla was, by arguing, smarter and the better technology. And I said, but Tesla lost. Edison's technology was not nearly as good. He was not as smart as Edison, but Edison had the contacts.
Right.
And Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. If there's a movie in the 90s called Pirates of Silicon Valley.
Yes, very good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy that's playing Steve Jobs said, Bill, we're better than you. We were first. We were this. We were that. We were this and that and this. And then and the Bill Gates character turned and said, Steve, you still think that matters? We won. High value men understand something. It only matters about the outcome. You can be right and lose all day long. Being right does not make you win. Go ahead.
And what that conversation led to was the antitrust lawsuit that Macintosh filed against Microsoft and won. And what a lot of people will never ever know is that Apple, they have superior products. We know that. But all of that started with the antitrust lawsuit that they filed and won. I think it was around 1995 against Microsoft, and Microsoft had to pay up. So that was sort of the seed money. Real quick before I get to the next topic, something that Kevin said resounds unbelievably true, and this is competition. And this is one of the many dichotomies between men and women. When women compete for men, they act so much better. When men compete for women, women are out of pocket. And proof of that is around us every hour of every day. Guys are so thirsty, and it's the same. And they're so thirsty for women. Women, they feel like men are competing for them. And when women feel like men are competing for them and they don't have to compete for men, they're sluts. They get out of pocket. They talk out of the sides of their necks. They think their shit doesn't stink. But when women are competing for the top 5 and 6% of men, they're in pocket. They're making you a sandwich and shutting the fuck up. They're doing everything that they need to do. Marlo Boone in Facebook says, Kevin Samuels is talking crazy again. Not everyone will make $120,000 annually. Who has time for a woman with a network of contacts? Here's what I have to say about that.
Man. Hey.
Yeah, can I say something real quick? This guy's low IQ, man. This guy's low IQ. Let me tell you something, bro. The reason why you're high value is because you're rare. Okay, $100,000 a year in the United States puts you in the top 9%, which means guess what? You're rare, which is what high value means. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this. I don't want to sound like a cocky jerk, but $10,000 a month is not that much, man. It really isn't. Nope. You won't get that far in New York City with that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you put your nose to it, you can make 120 grand a year. It's not that hard, bro. Like, especially in the internet age, like this guy's low IQ, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I want to say,
wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. Listen, hold your thoughts. I got to get to these super chats, and then we'll talk about just this because I think this is a good conversation. Mal Geese with the $5 super chat says, I was having this argument earlier. I was told black men are supposed to worship and bow down to black women when I started laughing my ass off. Big thanks goes out to Jay Canella with the $100 super sticker. Alton Prayer with the $80 super chat says, church check-in. I've been busting my butt lately working on becoming a high-value man. Salute to the entire panel, and thanks for all you do for the added motivation to become better. That's the attitude we need, not like hating-ass niggas like Marlo Booth. Get the fuck out of here. Jason Moreno, $20 super chat, says, I think learning how to take care of that money, too, would also be considered a high-value trade. Am I right? Absolutely. I've made that for over a decade, but didn't learn until recently how to properly manage and invest. Your thoughts. We'll get back to that a little bit later. John Doe with the $2 super chat says, Kevin, you didn't answer the question.
Another low IQ guy.
Oh, yeah. Man. Hey.
John Doe, you didn't. No, hold on. John Doe, you didn't listen, nigga. He answered both fucking questions. Now, listen, we're going to get a lot of
PowerPoint presentation.
That nigga had a PowerPoint presentation. Nigga didn't answer the question. Get out of here, man. We are here for all of the foolishness. Okay, so we had a lot of guys who wanted to speak on this. Steve, I'm going to go with you first, then I'm going to go to Jap, then I'll go to Solo. Steve, what you got on this?
Yeah, I see. This is the problem with you dumb motherfuckers. You have a man like Kevin Samuels giving you all kind of game, and your weak bitch ass wants to talk bad about him. That's why these bitches don't want to fuck with guys like you, because high value men soak up information. Everything that fucking Kevin was saying, Jap was saying, Lucario, everybody that's been saying on this shit, and all you worried about is making 120 fucking stinking dollars. That's why your ass ain't gonna be shit, and that's why bitches gonna treat you like a bitch, because your pussy is tighter than theirs. That man Kevin Samuels was giving you a rock solid fucking advice, but your dumb kooky ass, you worried about the fucking messenger instead of listening to the message. I'm sorry. I just hate dumbass motherfuckers. Hey, this shirt for you, motherfucker. You man, China bitch.
Hey, check it out, man. You should probably send him one for free. He would wear it with pride. I'm sorry, Jap. What you got on this?
Oh, man. First of all, let me take this goddamn towel off because y'all left me hanging. I'm reading the goddamn text because y'all said we going to wear suits and ties for Kev. You know what I'm saying? So we got to salute the Kev. He made the 100,000 mark. You know what I'm saying? But it's time to cook. I want to say this. That $100,000, that's great. But if you don't have no game with that, you're going to be living a $20,000 lifestyle, which means not having discipline. You can make $100,000. You can make $200,000. But I know guys right now, once they touch that money, they lost their fucking mind, had babies all over the place. So now they live like a nigga making $40,000. What I want to make sure that you guys can understand is the game is the most important thing, because you could be making $70,000 and still be high value in the market that we're in, because if you don't have kids, if you got low debt to income ratio and shit like that, and you're able to pick up and go, and then you got investments that might be seasoned, that you set, and they're about to blow, and now you're about to get to that $100,000 mark. That having that lifestyle and not having kids, and not having nobody that's attached to you, to an ex-wife or anything like that, you're high value in this day and age right now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, just having $100,000, you can have a guy with $100,000 and 3 kids. It's not going to hit the same. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to have the game, have some dick discipline, so you don't blow that check. You know what I'm saying? Fucking around.
Okay, Solo, what you got on this, man?
Yeah, see, and this guy's just caught up on the money aspect, right? And I mean, that is a big part, like Kevin said, that makes you high value. However, a lot of these guys think that, well, if I make this money, then, now all of a sudden I'm going to get the girl of my dreams. The reality is being high value is a lifestyle, right? So you are around high value people. See, elephants don't swat at flies. You know why high value people don't deal with people like that is because if they bring a Marlo Boone around the circle, he's gonna be all bug-eyed and doing some fuckerty fuck shit behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So these people, they're very emotionally intelligent, so they don't just pop off for no reason. And number two, when you look at the money aspect, right? Like Myron was saying, it's rare. That's why you are high value. You see, the place I'm about to go after this, Donovan, there's a pool. There's going to be a couple girls there. I mean, they've been partying the whole Labor Day. I've been, weekend. I've been making YouTube videos. But the reality is, guys like Marlon Boone, they're the guys that open up the door so we can walk in.
Mario, listen, what do you think about guys like Marlon Boone, who, Kevin didn't answer the question. It's not every nigga can make 120 G's. What are your thoughts on guys like this?
Well, the thing is, you got to understand that there's different aspects of what make you high value, because you could be a dude who has a lot of money, but you still ain't shit. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, like, you could be a cornball with a lot of money. You see what I mean? So just having that, I think people are focusing too much on that because they don't believe that they could get to that level. So that's why it hits them different and it hits them harder, which is why they feel a certain type of way when they hear that. You understand? But when you're stating things that it just is what it is. It is what it is. But what I wanted to say about the whole high value thing is that people have to understand that high value is really based off. It's like when people say looks, it's subjective. High value to one person is subjective. You see what I mean? So one person might not really care about your money, but they care about what's inside your mind. You understand what I'm saying? How you come at things, how you do things, how you produce things. And another person might care about the money, but not really care about all the other stuff. So it all depends on who you're dealing with and how you're interacting with that person. You see what I'm saying? Which is going to make, let's say, for example, we're talking about women. If you're dealing with a woman, one woman might see you as high value because you have a certain level of knowledge. One woman might see you as high value because you have a certain amount of money. You see what I'm saying? And one woman might see you as high value because you have both or a combination of a lot of different things. So the thing is that it just depends on that situation and how attracted she is to you because of that. But just in general, a guy who's a high value guy, you understand, he has things to offer people that is of value. That's really all it is. You see what I mean?
So Myron, listen, you addressed Marlo Boone just a second ago. It said that's a low IQ guy. So answer the question that everybody else is answering. Why do low value men hate on high value men? Why do they always come at us with, well, it's not looks, it's not money. Not everybody can have 6-pack abs. Not everybody can make $120,000 a year. What motivates these guys to talk like this?
So the simple thing is this. The reason why low value guys hate on guys that are doing it is because it shines a direct spotlight on their inadequacies. And what I mean by that is that when you make a certain amount of money, when you're in a certain kind of shape, when you carry yourself in a certain kind of manner, it's another man's instinct to hate on you because you're showing him where he's failing at. You know what I mean? Because the thing is this. Women hate on other women because they're prettier than them. Men hate on other men because they're more successful than them. Men are measured by what we create and how successful we are. That's just the unfortunate reality. Women are measured on their beauty and and their sexuality. That's why I always say men sell success, women sell sex. That's just how it is. Or they sell purity. They sell purity so that they'll try to get guys to commit. So I'll say this, man. 10K. I don't want to sound cocky, but I already hit all 10K a month. Nothing. I'm in good shape, over 6 feet tall, whatever it may be. So guys hate on me because it's like, boom, a spotlight on their failures. But the thing is that, and here's the other thing, like when I'm dieting or I'm measuring my food or whatever, and I bring a food scale, the first thing people do is try to shame me. Oh, food? Oh my God, bro, do you live life? Blah, blah, blah. And in my head, all I hear is, oh, I'm jealous that you're doing that and you have the discipline to do it. You're shining a spotlight on me for being a shithead for eating a pizza right now while you're tracking your macros. And the thing is that men are always going to hate on other guys that produce more than them because they know deep down that they are a failure and they're not willing to do what's required to be successful, because men deep down in the back of their mind, they know there's a burden of performance on us. You know what I mean? Like if you don't perform as a man, there's consequences to that shit. Chicks make fun of you. You don't get sex. You become an involuntary celibate. Society laughs at you, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Women, however, they're not really held to a standard of performance. Just be pretty, and a high value guy will probably come along and talk to you or give you some kind of attention. So with men, it's what you put in is what you get out. So when guys see you putting it in and they're not putting it in, they're going to get angry and they're going to resent you for it. So this guy like Marlo IQ, literally Kevin gave a PowerPoint presentation on how to be a high value guy. Yeah. You got retards in here saying, "Oh, bro, Kevin, you didn't answer the question," or "Yo, 120K a year is bro." 120K a year is not that much money in 2020, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, you're a fucking bum. You're low IQ, and I don't think what to say, bro. This guy's an idiot. What the fuck?
Oh my god! Before I get to Kevin for his thoughts on this particular question, because I'll let Kevin address this by himself. Big thanks goes out to Technomage B5 with the $120 super chat. Says in Kevin's 6 points, seems to me it starts with number 6, utility. You have to be useful to someone, then work your way up. Be visible to get the work. Get on and build networks through your good works. Eventually, you gain group acceptance over time, and that money and the money follows. Boom! Like he gave you the template on how to do this. John Doe with the $5 super chat comes, I guess he considers to be a clapback. The question was, how can women get a high value? Not what is a high value man? No disrespect, but that was the question. John, my nigga, you got to open your fucking ears, fam. I asked a 2-part question. What do you define? What is your definition of a high value man? Question number 2. What do black women have to do to become attractive to high value men? Again, appreciate the super chat, but fucking listen. I can't stand niggas that don't listen. NYK at 31, $10 says the people who get in their feelings regarding high value are the ones who are either living a lie or are feeling shame. Use these lessons to improve your life, whether you are high value or not. And then we had another super, oh, wait a minute, now they're really coming in. Club Fortune, aka Asarogi, with the $7, I'm sorry. Red Sings the Blues, $5 says black women have to come to terms with their value, but so do black men. But the black man has to be higher valued by proxy. His name must mean more. Comment of the night right there. Unbelievable comment. Club Fortune says high value men have a grasp of optics and a winner's mentality, something that Marlon Bum and Black Pillars don't have. Keep up the great work, guys. Jason Moreno, $5, says they're looking at problems instead of finding solutions. Got to change your mindset, otherwise you'll never understand. MGTOW Ghost Son, $20, says the truth is people in this generation do not want to compete. You can see people starting to crumble when you describe society as a hierarchy because people believe the false idea that we are equal. Guys are starting to wake up, man. Guys are starting to wake up. Here's another one. Toriana Rich with the $5 super sticker. Very, very good. Appreciate that there. So now let me come to Kevin Samuels, right? Alton Prayer, real quick, $20 super chat says, salute to Kevin too. I'm currently stacking that get right money to come and get some of the high value man training you offer. So Kevin, I'm going to come directly to you so that you can address this. And you actually said this right at the beginning of the show. Listen, I'm catching a lot of hate. I'm catching a lot of heat. This is exactly where it comes from. Why do people come at you like that? Like, Kevin, like, I'm actually feeling some type of way because I used to be the nigga that most people like to hate, right? Mm-hmm. Like, people hate Donovan Sharpe, but now all of a sudden, Kevin Samuels is getting all the hate. So I don't have the title anymore. But really, all jokes aside, why do men come for you like this?
The first thing I would have said to the person that put that question is, have you made $120,000 a year? If you can't, on the screen, I only debate my equals. All others I teach. See, God. I've taken the gloves off because, unfortunately, many guys have not been in these places, and they simply don't understand. What he was really trying to say, Donovan, is I don't understand this, and I don't understand how it works this way. I don't make the money. I don't have the network, but what I assume is the amount of work that I would have to do at my hourly job, no offense, to make $120,000, I could not even get sleep. I would have to work 23 out of 24 hours a day to make that money. So how can I then network? See, and I could answer that question instead of telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about when it's beyond obvious. Even the simplest of pocket watchers can go to my show and just count the super chats and say, the guy is making money. And I've always made money. And it's not just about the money. When I moved to New York City, I was making a lot of money until I met people who had real money. And I was like, I am broke. I'm going to tell you, when you go to the Hamptons, you can live in Manhattan on 43rd between 10th and 11th. Shout out to Riverbank West, 77th floor apartment. But let me tell you, when you go out to the Hamptons and you see 6th and 7th generation wealth, when they fly you out on a helicopter with your girlfriend and you land and your staff is waiting for you and they give you the keys to one of the homes on the property and you have a fleet of cars that you can pull up. I'm like, wait a minute. I did not know that existed. But instead of being upset, I just said, I didn't understand it. I don't know. And see, the value, the money thing pisses a lot of guys off because one, they know they don't have the skills to make more money per hour or to make passive income. Dan Locke talks about high income skills.
Yes.
And so many guys simply don't have it. Every man on this panel has multiple streams of income, and we do not exchange hours for dollars.
That's right.
Since I spoke the first time, I have made $260 on your panel. Since I stopped talking, I made $260.
Wow. Okay.
Sitting here listening to somebody tell me something that I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's why I said it's not going. I can't argue. And see, I will say this in particular with black men. Black men are the only group of men who have to explain themselves over and over. And I refuse to explain myself, justify myself, or sit back to have to let you sit back. Well, let me decide whether or not you're worth me listening to. No, thank you, but no. You pay me if you want my advice. I'm on a show with other high value men who have shown their work and their receipts, and we got guys in the chat room peppering you with questions, but remember, you got to pay to talk to us.
God damn.
Listen, that was if ever that was a mic drop moment, that was
shit. I know, Jab. Shit.
I mean, like, what am I supposed to say? Listen, dude, I wish I had Kevin's cool because you guys know me.
Welcome to the best day of the year.
But what he's bringing is a lot of these guys don't believe in themselves.
No, they don't.
You know what I mean? And that right there is confidence. How can you even talk to a bitch? You don't believe the bitch ain't even in the room. You don't even believe that you could ever touch 100,000. My blood bleed just like Kev bleed. Like any other man, I got the same capabilities, the same opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I say, prepare yourself for success because if it ever comes, you need to be ready. You can't look to make $100,000 and you got 6 hoes chasing. You got 3, 4, 5 kids with these bitches. You're never gonna get there. So you gotta want that shit and sacrifice. Discipline will get you there. You know what I'm saying? But moving real reckless with your dick, man, I don't care if you touch $150,000. You're going to live like a motherfucker making 30.
I want to say something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
Just to add to what Kevin said. So I grew up in humble beginnings, man. I grew up in New Britain, Connecticut, Central Connecticut. It's very poor, very crappy. Went to high school that had a 50% dropout rate, but I went to college and I went to school at Northeast University in Boston. And I went to school with some of these guys that Kev was talking about that have that real money, generational money. They went to school, $50,000 a year, paid off before they even stepped foot on the campus. And I'll tell you this, man, that changed my outlook on success and making money and becoming successful. And what I learned very quickly is that rich people don't trade time for money.
No.
So, and they have multiple streams of income. The average millionaire has about 6 streams of income. So for the guys in here that are talking about, oh, you act like we could all make $120 a year, $100,000 a year, bro. In 2020, that is not that much fucking money, man. There's plenty of women out here. You want to know why there's so many single women out here? Because a lot of them make $100,000 a year, and they can't find a guy that makes at least that much. So the thing is this, man. You guys got to understand. You got to look at the world and start realizing that, like, you can do better. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of guys put a ceiling or a cap on their success, and that is why they don't succeed, because they sit here and they think that the problem is this: they're poor, but they have a poverty mindset.
Oh,
problem. That's the problem. You got to be able to look at the situation, say this sucks, I don't want to be here anymore, and then take fucking action.
Do something about it.
The biggest difference between people that have money and people that don't. The homeless guy standing on the corner saying, "Hey, I'm hungry," blah, 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 and then someone else going out there and getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad came to the United States back in the 80s, didn't speak a lick of English, from Sudan, got robbed multiple times, driving a cab in New York City, got ran over, and he figured the shit out. You know what I mean? So I have no fucking sympathy for you ass clowns in here, where you were born in the United States, English is your first language, and you're talking about, oh, you're getting money. You're a fucking pussy, bro. Simple as that.
Damn. Yo, Myron is straight cooking niggas tonight, man. Like, that's not like
I just gotta, yo, man. Like, it gets me mad because like Kev literally broke it down for these guys. Like, this is what
PowerPoint.
With a PowerPoint and with a suit on at fucking 9:17 p.m. on a Sunday, and these ass clowns are in here like, yeah, you didn't answer the question.
Ass clowns.
Up, man.
But see, I gotta say something real quick. See, the thing that guys don't understand about the whole money thing is that again, like I was saying before, is that high value means that you can provide value. So if I have a lot of money, that means I can provide a lot of value. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who want to do things for people in the world and make things happen, but you can't do it if you have no money to do it. So if you say, I hear people all the time, I wish I could feed the homeless. I wish I can build this. I wish I can build that. That takes money. So if you have a certain amount of money, that means that you're able to give a certain amount of value based off of that monetary thing. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what people are not getting, is that's the correlation there. But also too, it's also perspective, because see, it's like Myron was saying, is that 120K isn't really that much money. And see, he's coming from it at that perspective because he's at that level to where he's like, yo, this ain't even really money. Just like Kevin Tim said, he's like, look, I've been around people who are probably millionaires or whatever. And then he's like, damn, I'm broke. That's the perspective you want to have. You want to say, damn, well, I got up to 120,000, and you want to look at 120,000 like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like you want to feel broke at 120,000. You don't want to look at 120,000 as like it's 10 million. You see what I mean? So once you get yourself in a certain position, then you'll start to relate to what that money is differently. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Steve, you had something to add.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't understand that y'all listening. Y'all want to get a seat at the table, and most of you motherfuckers can't get even the door. Y'all can't even get inside the door, and y'all don't understand the mindset of what Kevin and Lucario and Myron was saying, and Jack, what everybody's saying about money. These motherfuckers that make paper don't give a fuck about you. You are not even a thought in their mind because they're so busy pushing forward. They're so busy networking. They're so busy making so many fucking moves day in and day out. 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, and even on Sunday, while most of you motherfuckers are sleeping for 8-9 hours a day. These motherfuckers don't sleep because money don't sleep. And these motherfuckers are making all kind of moves. So they ain't got, like Kevin said, you gotta pay for time, man. Motherfuckers ain't gonna give you shit for free because y'all motherfuckers getting, listen, since I've been on here and they've been doing this show, y'all been getting nothing but free information. Y'all motherfuckers still ain't doing shit. So why would a motherfucker give you the good shit when you can't do the shit for free? Come on, man.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Kev. You got it, bro.
One of the things, I don't know if it's in your questions, but I think a lot of these guys they know they want to become higher value. They just don't know how. So I don't know if that's something we're going to get to tonight. But over the last week, I've been watching Too Big to Fail, Margin Call, The Big Short, and all these financial movies about the big crash. And I'm sitting there looking at all these guys in the boardroom, and the guy that plays the CEO, Jeremy Irons, says, I didn't get in this chair because I'm the smartest. I got here because I work hard and my job is to do something that you can't. And see, that's the thing. You don't have to be, no one on this panel is necessarily a genius. Geniuses don't run the geniuses. C students hire A students to make them rich. See, and one of the biggest things a lot of guys don't seem to understand is, how can I make that transition? Because everybody on here has their own. I started from here and I made a decision to be more than my surroundings. And instead of saying, well, if you got guys that are there at different levels, they all became more than their surroundings. How can I do that? That's the question you should ask, guys, instead of saying, well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Again,
they have their eye on him too.
Not watching you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm actually in the middle of the of my ESPN fantasy draft here. Julio Jones. I'm very, very happy about that. I'm going to ask. We're going to address one more question. I'm going to do super chats. One more question. Then we are going to open up the phone lines. Technomage B5 with the $5 super chat says we're equal in rights, not in ability or perseverance. Talent plus work plus perseverance plus intelligence, strategy and tactics equal outcomes. Yeah, listen, luck plus opportunity equals success. That's just all there is to it. Omega Legion $5 super chat says greetings. The way I see this generation is how people want the quick and easy way to sell high value. It's through hard work, dedication, and self-improvement. Real talk.
Guess they have their eye on him too.
That's okay. 2 seconds, guys. So I just drafted David Johnson. Okay, very good. Darkman Jeff says a little something for the collection plate. I appreciate the $10 super chat. Workout with Wayne, $25 super chat says I make S2 minutes as a trainer. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's good. He said, fellas, health, fitness, money, and self-respect are what you need. Being dumb, fat, broke, and a simp will not work. Real motherfucking talk. Dr. Feelgood.
$2 a minute, Donovan. $2 a minute.
Okay. Oh, goddamn. Okay. Well, that's what, $120 an hour. I'll take that. Dr. Feel, and yeah, guess what? If he works for 1,000 hours, that's $120,000 for Marlo Boone. There you go. Dr. Feelgood, $5 says smoke and mirrors. Can't be a high value man making $120K if you're paying alimony and child support and your $120K is reduced to $80K a year. Ed Lattimore with the $20 super chat says dick discipline makes a big difference. It will make or break your life. Rappers and athletes are all learning that the hard way. Also, y'all killing these dudes. This one is definitely not staying up on YouTube. Fam, this was demonetized as soon as I put black women on. Red Sings the Blues with a $10 super chat. Says when a man is at the bottom, and I'll get to that in just a minute. I am going to draft Melvin Gordon III.
Dak Prescott, that's Bristol.
Yeah, listen, he's playing for that new contract. Red Sings the Blues, $10 super chat says when a man is at the bottom and shows potential, low value men drag him down. The low value men hate the low value men hate the low value man, but fears the man with potential to become one of the quote impossible 20%. Real talk. Zenyi Dragonblade, $5 says can confirm millionaires do not or will not argue with anyone beneath them since the work they put in, they don't talk about it. Be about it. Very, very good. I got to work on that. Young Manhood with a $5 super chat says salute to the panel. Janik L'Italian with $100 says not looking to defend Marlo here. Very far from it. So don't hate on me. Janik he's a good guy. But most of us started like that. I was of a similar mindset. Simp, white knight before the red pill. Maybe this is Marlo's awakening. If Marlo is a man, if he really is a man, this will be his awakening. Just like Steve says, you got to be able to get punched in the chest and keep moving forward. Don't go off and cry into your girlfriend's chest. That's not what men do. Unique 79 with the £5 super chat says, as Steve always said, too many guys are happy to participate. They don't want to go through the pain and the sweat. Listen, well said. Alton Prayer, another $25. Not to brag, I've already made over $97,000 this year. Listening to the show is motivating even more. That is what we seek to accomplish here. Very, very nice. Azariah, $20 says peace to the panel. None of your work is in vain. A lot of us black men knew something that was wrong with ourselves and environment, but we're shamed and gaslighted. What up, Myron? I'm from Hartford, Connecticut, and went to 2NB. I guess that's
New Britain. Yeah, he's from close by.
Okay. All right, very good. All right, so shout out to him. Freelance Ronan, $5. Or I'm sorry, Intellect, $10 super chat says nothing to say. Oh, Kevin and Solo on to donate. Very good. Freelance Ronan, $10 super chat. The original TSR OG says drop it into the tip jar. Hell of a show. I'm going to come to Kevin with this question that we're going to answer. Then we're going to open up the phone lines. Why do black women feel like they do not have to compete for black men? Why do black women feel entitled to high value black men?
It's going to be good.
Well, one, popular society and culture has told them that they're better than us to begin with.
Ooh, there you go.
So if you're already the best, their college degree outranks them. I mean, how many times do you hear black women who are younger than me call into my show and they think because they have a master's or a PhD, they can set me as a 51-year-old man straight. I mean, with a hell of a resume. And, so here's the problem. And the question is, why do they not?
Sorry, but go ahead, you got it. AJ Green. Yeah, go ahead.
So why they feel like they don't have to compete? One or several things. One is they value themselves higher than black men. Ooh. They value themselves higher than black men, and the only thing they should ever have to do is give access to their body. and that should level set the playing field. You know, there is a low level amount of contempt and disrespect that runs through far too many black women. So when they see a black man who is valuable, they still have to make something wrong with him to make their value higher than his.
Oh, wow. Jesus
See-
Christ, man. You're dropping too much knowledge in this motherfucker.
And one of the things I want to say is every guy on this panel, you know, started somewhere to decide to become a high value man. And Jap, I said this on Instagram the other day. It starts with controlling your seed.
That's
Do
right.
not run around and get 50, 11 million women pregnant. That is one of the surest ways to be a low value dude. Controlling your seed, then focusing. You don't have to focus 24 hours a day, but you need to understand when to focus and maximize. Don't waste your time on texting and all that other kind of shit.
If they had their eye on him too.
That's where the work is. Grab now.
Drew Brees.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Then,
Yes,
then the next thing is you have to take risks. You
Yeah.
can't play it safe. You must take risks. You will never get to the next level without risking. You cannot put your money in a savings account and expect to get rich when they put your money in mutual funds and on the market and pay you. Understand what the rule of 72 is, and you'll understand why you should never put your money in a savings account.
Ooh.
You have some risk, and then you must act. You cannot just sit back in analysis paralysis. You gotta risk and take a chance and then do something.
Yeah.
And then the last part, this is one that really twists people up. You gotta give in order to receive. You gotta be willing to pay your way in. You got to be willing to buy stuff. Don't call Donovan. Don't send Donovan Sharpe an email saying, "Hey man, I love your show, love everything you do. I think you're the best thing since sliced bread, and I hope you and Devin have a great time. And I like your puppy, and I heard this." Now just buy a fucking hour with him and say, "Hey man, help me get my shit together." You buy your way in. See, there's a lot to be said for men who lead with their wallet. And your wallet is your accomplishments, your mindset. Look here, man. Money is a freaking tool. A tool. And one of the things Donovan said, more than anything else, I come at things from a business standpoint. High value man is about business, and I look at outcomes and returns. And there's nothing that you should be doing if you're moving as a man that you're not trying to get a different return. Staying in the same place year over year is something that women can do, children can do, but men cannot afford.
Wow, very, very well put. Let me go to Jap here next with this question. Why do black women feel like they do not have to compete with other women for high-value black men?
All right. First and foremost, black men, the average black man doesn't have standards. The standards are very low, and the requirements to be in the presence of most black men is very low. I call it NBA, nothing but ass. All these bitches have to have ass.
Oh my God.
The concept of a black man actually having standards is new right now. This is a new wave. This is a new wave of thought. So now the bitches are saying shit like, "Oh, you motherfuckers are gay. Something must be wrong with your mom. You can't get," like everything except for measuring up to the standards that we set. Like, look, I don't fuck with bitches that got a gang of kids. They will, instead of not being one of the bitches that have a gang of kids, they will double down and say, "Well, fuck it. You're not strong enough to handle a motherfucker like me with you." You know, so, and black women have this thing that no other race of women have. They have, I call it the chitlin mindset, and I'm gonna break it down for you. They have the ability to make failure. They have the ability to be proud of shortcomings and failures and wear it and reverse it. You know, that's why they come up with big, beautiful, and loving it. And they come up with strong woman. You're not strong enough to handle a real black woman. And you know what I'm saying? Like, all of this is because she's masculine. She don't want to be a feminine woman. And just like chitlins on the plantation, instead of calling it what it is, this is pig intestines with feces in it. You say that this is a delicacy and this is part of our culture. And you understand this is soul food. Nah, this is fucking pig intestines boiling in water. You put on pig intestines with feces boiling in the water. So that's what black women are doing right now. They're failing like a motherfucker, but they're wearing it with pride. They're smiling through the misery, but when they go home, the reality hits them. No man, you're alone. You're big. You got to take that body shape off. Eventually, you're going to put yourself in the mirror. Like everything that's wrong with you, you try to psych yourself into believing that it's okay. And that if a man doesn't like it, he's less than a man. See, these women are only mad at us because we got standards. And I got the right to. All my shit is in order. I don't have kids. I own properties. I got passive income. I got multiple streams of income. I'm riding good. I'm lined up. I'm smelling good. My teeth in my mouth. I got a mouthpiece. What the fuck is a fat bitch with kids gonna bring to a motherfucker like me that I value? So when you did it like that, again, it's just like what Kev was saying. When you say high value, it makes motherfuckers question themselves like, damn, I'm failing in life. When you put standards on a woman, she looks like, damn, I'm not measuring up to this mortal man's standards. Damn, fuck it. Instead of measuring up to his standards, that motherfucker's gay.
Right.
You know, and it makes them feel better because they got to put us down so they can feel better and then move on to the next motherfucker and find a person who doesn't have any standards where they can be comfortable being failures and proud of it.
Well said. Let me get to these super chats, and we're going to go to Myron Gaines and then Solo TV 84. Next, Azariah 23 with a $5 super chat says, "Forgive my spelling. Driving a big rig through Atlanta, no problem at all." Secret of Truth $5 says, "Bum guys like to think they can piggyback off of the successfully minded when they start making progress." Ooh, that hit some people right in the truth. Ignacio Talavera $5 says, "Why is this even an issue, bro? We all know that just like black bros have a big banana, blacks just have a big attitude. One is a myth, the other most certainly is not." Myron, what are your thoughts on the reason why black women do not feel like they have to compete for black men? Why do they feel entitled to be with us?
I'm gonna have to blame this on Beyonce Knowles and a bunch of other music.
Shit,
man. And what I'm gonna say here is basically, these music artists, Cardi B, Beyonce, etc., they basically tell these women, hey, it's okay to be strong and independent. Fuck black men. You don't need them. You don't need no man, blah, blah, blah. And then guess what? They go back to Jay-Z and Offset. So the thing is this, man, like they sell these chicks a dream, man. It's like, yo, you don't need a man, all this other stuff. And the reality is it wasn't until the past 100 years or so that women have been able to live without the provisioning and security of a man. You know what I mean? Women are hardwired this is why they're hardwired to look for the strongest, most successful man that can protect and provision for them. And this is why women deep down will gladly share a high value male in order to propagate themselves and their children, because they know with a high value guy, he can have excess resources and care for multiple women. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now, what these women are doing is they're basically lying to these chicks, telling them, you don't need a man, all this other stuff, going against their biological hardwiring. And yes, social construct can work, but at the end of the day, you still got to go home by yourself and realize you're single. And that drives a lot of women mad. You know what I mean? That's why we have so many women that are, if you look at prescription drugs, right? And Donovan, you talk about this all the time.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at prescription drugs, antidepressants, anxiety, all this stuff, the majority of these prescriptions are written out to females. And that's a fact. People could say whatever they want to say in the comments, whatever, but it's a fact that these types of prescription drugs are heavily favored in the female side for prescription use. So it comes down to this, man. These women are selling a dream, like Beyonce knows whatever. I blame those chicks for lying to these women, telling them strong, independent, blah, 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 all this shit. It's like, no, man, because they tell you that, but they go back to their millionaire rappers. So it is
real talk. Right. Listen, before we get to Solo and then Steve the Dean Williams, the phone lines are officially open. 914-205-5356. Give your name, location, and your question or comment. Keep it brief. This is not a counseling session. This is not therapy. Say what you have to say and keep it brief. That is all there is to it. Okay, so Solo, what you got on why black women do not feel like they have to compete, as I drafted Sean Jackson, with 4 black men? Why do they feel entitled to us?
Okay, so first of all, let me just say I'm glad I finally got to go ahead of Lucario. Let me touch on something that Myron and Jab touched on, and I actually took a couple notes. But in the black community, particularly black women, they're venerated unlike any other group of women in regards to race. So, for example, the black woman is God.
Right.
My Black Queen and Black Love. I mean, all these things, right? In this particular group where the women are propped up, right? And so with this type of propping, it creates a lot of delusions of grandeur where these women, like Kevin said, basically think they're better than the men. And the reality is a lot of them aren't. And a lot of them are actually worse off. Remember the $5 net worth and all of that?
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Another thing is the lady or feminist, calling her lady is actually a compliment. The feminist that Kevin was, talking to, me and her, we've had a few panels. And here you have a delusional woman, right, wearing some satanic necklace and a freaking sundress. I don't know what she was doing in a 4x4 bedroom on a twin bed with powder puff girl lights in the back, which she took off for Kevin. I seen it. And she's basically saying that, I'm entitled to a good man because, I'll give him peace and I should just show up, basically. And so when you have women that are that entitled for no reason, because of the fact that they're used to getting their ass kissed, it creates a lot of delusions of grandeur, creates narcissistic entitlement. And you're dealing with women then who, once they hit the wall, reality will hit them harder than that.
Facts.
Wow, very good. Very well said by Solo, man. That was like the sneak tip comment of the night. Steve, what are your thoughts on why Black women do not feel like they have to compete for Black men?
They don't have to, because these motherfucking 98% of these weak ass males that sit around and make them feel like they special. The problem I don't think is really the woman. See, these women are being driven by 98% of these weak Black men that don't have any standards. They have no self-worth. They know they ain't shit. They grab the low-hanging fruit. They fuck these bitches, like Jap say, raw and shit, and knowing that she's supposed to protect herself as well. That's a whole different story. But the problem is that they make these women feel like they special when they run around with these lying-ass, woman is queen and woman is God type shirts to backdoor these women into thinking that they more than what the fuck they not. Because these weak-ass motherfuckers ain't man enough to tell these motherfuckers you ain't special. There ain't shit special about you until I say you special. But they ain't got that shit in them because they got mommy in them. And because they got mommy in them, they act real feminine and they kiss these women's asses, run behind them, tell them how special they are. Cupcake, defend. There are probably some guys right now talking shit about all of us to some fucking woman who ain't shit, who thinks she's a shit, because motherfuckers don't know how to tell her you ain't shit at all. Because even with Beyonce, she ain't shit. Because when Jay-Z was getting his ass whipped in the elevator, she should have ripped her fucking wig off, kicked the shoes off, and beat the shit out of her sister. Did she do that? Fuck no, she didn't do that. Because you know why? Because it's weak-ass men that make these women think they're more than what the fuck they are, man.
Wow. Listen, I agree. I agree with what Steve said. Yeah, what Steve said. Let me go quickly to the super chats, and then we will go to the phone line. We're still screening our calls here. Freelance Ronan, $10 says the majority of Black men have been brainwashed to deify Black women, taught to worship them regardless of the disrespect, and mentally conditioned to tolerate mistreatment as normal. Wow. Double question marks. Jesus Christ. $5 says they feel this way because they had the right of first refusal and they figure incorrectly they will always have us to fall back on. Listen, I have said this before. Black women used to have the right of first refusal. We're all Black men, right? And I'm sure that most of us, our first choice in terms of the women that we wanted to choose were Black. But a funny thing kind of happened when we chose Black women. They chose ignorant ass dirty dick Rodney over us. And now that we're out here doing shit, then they want to throw the pussy at us. And when we tell them not interested, oh, niggas ain't shit. Okay, but what about you though, right? That's all that is. Unique 79, 5 British pounds, said Beyonce, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, etc. end up getting married and having kids. The women who follow them end up single. Go figure. Before we open up the phone lines, does anybody have any closing thoughts on this particular topic before we go to the phone lines? Okay, I think
let me say something about the last point.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
One of the other reasons why Black women feel entitled to Black men is Black men are more loyal to black women than they really are to black men. Black women really if black women really had the choice to swirl like black men, if black men just decided to date the best woman available, then you would see a different attitude. Black women, men forget, don't know, never learned, or misunderstand that in order to keep a woman on her toes, she needs to compete for you.
That's right.
You need to give your women the gift of being uncomfortable. It makes them happy, guys. When they're uncomfortable, they know they got to get their ass up and go to the gym. They got to stay on top of their game. But when a woman gets comfortable, she will start to find contempt in you. I've been on both sides of it. And I will tell you, having a comfortable woman leads to having a contemptuous woman. Just a bad deal.
That is 1,000% facts. There's a reason why Future says, "Bitch, don't get too comfortable." Like,
We'll talk.
a woman, never deny a woman the pleasure of qualifying to you, man, because then she's gonna feel like she has a prize. Because women don't operate like we do. Like a guy will, if a chick is just there and cute and nice and whatever, he's gonna be like, cool. You know what I mean? This is my main girl. She doesn't give me a hard time. Women, that's repulsive to them. Like when they get comfortable, they're like, ugh, this guy's a dork. Yeah, like I don't even gotta work for his affection anymore. Fuck this. I'm gonna go deal with somebody else. That's how women operate.
Just to piggyback up on what Myron is saying, guys, don't show your hand. Because a lot of these guys start talking this red pill shit. Like, yeah, I was watching it. Stop giving them the cheat code. Stop telling them where you get this information from. And don't tell them all your qualifications. Because a lot of these bitches that just do it, you know what I'm saying? Because you told them what it was. And then when they get comfortable, you know what I'm saying, they get you bought in like, okay, I did everything that he said that's his requirements. And then they fall off. You got to hold some of that shit back and see if this motherfucker genuinely takes care of your business, and that's what he does. But some people will just do it, and it's not real, you know. So you definitely don't want to just give them the cheat code to fucking with you.
Okay, good stuff. We're gonna. Oh, go ahead. Who had something else?
I got something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, you got it.
Another thing is that when it comes to high value men, they have standards, and BWs know that the typical bullshit attitude or bad behavior or what have you, you can't get away with that with a high value man.
Right.
You just cannot, because they won't put up with that shit. They will show you the fucking door and will say good night and will leave you with a wet ass going home and a McDonald's bag at best. So the reality is a lot of these women know that a high value man is in a position of power and they're not used to that, because the dynamic is always, especially in these single mother households where the woman is in power. But when you're dealing with a high value man, you got to be on your best behavior. You got to be feminine.
That's right.
Kevin says you got to be agreeable. And a lot of these women, they're not used to that. And that's one of the reasons why they're losing.
Wow, very good.
Oh, you see that on my show. Women that would normally go places and be just disrespectful and rude and ruthless, because my show, women know that I have a line and I will put you off. And I won't attack them first. You have seen women who just go show their ass other places, and they're sitting there like,
like Janae,
Oh wow! Oh, we starting to get real now, right?
That's power, and you don't. And this is what I need guys to understand. Do not misunderstand any of this high value thing is saying that if you're not high value, you ain't shit. That's what a lot of women think. That is not what any of these men think.
Ooh. Wow.
I don't care if you want to be high value in the top 10%. I don't believe that 90% of men can't do this. I believe that the women who say that shit need to make sure they get the 10%, qualify for the 10% of men that they say are the shit.
Okay. And again, this is a math thing, and this is where a lot of guys get into their feelings. Well, I'm not a high value man, so what can I do to get girls, or whatever the case may be? A value has a hierarchy. Just because you're not in the top 10% doesn't mean you're not in the top 15%. Just because you're not in the top 15% doesn't mean you're not in the top 20%. And again, you have to understand, just because you are not the shit doesn't mean you ain't shit. A lot of guys need to exit that female mentality. Go ahead, Jep.
This is the thing too. There's different leagues. You can be high value amongst black women. That's like the D League. That's like the N1 tournament of the game, right there.
Oh my God!
You know that's like Kobe Bryant in the end. That's at the Rucker Park. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's when you get your shine on. You learn your game. You get your bumps and your bruises. That's the deal. But then when you start going to that Miami and fucking around and these different races, them boardroom bitches, that type of game you got where you high value in that type of realm, you're gonna have to kick it up a notch and double that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because these other women, they're really girls. So like I told you, you're dealing with black women. You're mainly dealing with they got the female features, but they are mentally boys. So it's like a real fucked up, you know what I'm saying, thing you're dealing with. But when you start dating outside the race and seeing different cultures, you start to see girls and you start to see like it's normal, like how you're praised for being a black man with a good credit score and a job, and no kids in the black community. Like I'm looked at like bitches look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what's wrong with you? This is rare. That's rare. That's normal to other coaches though. So you gotta understand with playing with two different leagues. Now, when you start going to the NBA, that's when you're gonna start fucking with all these different races of women, different coaches. You know what I'm saying? Bitches with real hair, bitches with jobs. You know what I'm saying? Bitches with reliable cars. You know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. So you know, some of you guys, you know, you high value in the black community. Fucking need to play your cards right. It's time to elevate, and you know,
this nigga is cooking. All right, we're gonna get to the phone lines here on just a second. I'll read off the rest of these super chats here. Easy with the $10 super chat says, just wanted to thank you all. It's so helpful to have some brothers to discuss specific gender problems in our culture. Steve, ice cream walker, feed the ducks only for first dates. Real talk. Ignacio Talavera says, Donovan, which one is right? The one about the length or the one about the attitude? I'll tell you what, bro, the second one. Very, very nice. There was another one that I may have missed. Forgive me. Oh, there's one there by Dirty D Rodney. Yeah. Dirty Dick Rodney with the $2 super chat says, Donovan, I heard you call my name. What's good? Real quick, guys, I know this is absolutely irrelevant. This is my squad. I got Drew Brees as my starting quarterback.
Losing.
Sean Jackson. No
Cowboys.
I didn't get any Cowboys. I got Julio Jones, Miles Sanders. That was a homer pick. AJ Green, Jared Cook, James White, the Baltimore Ravens defense, and the like. So I think I had a pretty good draft for the most part. Okay. Listen, the phone lines are lit up. We are going to mow through these calls because I don't have time to be up all night talking to you niggas. So at first, let us go to DeAndre in Chicago. You're on live with the 7. Where go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, gents?
Good.
All right, so I'll say this much. What I've learned from the military, and they taught me that competition produces quality. And all of the guys that are out here bitching about being a low-value men, in reality, they don't want to compete. They don't want to change themselves. They don't want to adapt. They don't want to evolve, right? Because once you get to that stage where you're evolving, you're adapting, the quality aspect then comes into you. Then it's like ingrained with you. And that's what they taught me in the Marine Corps. I had a shit ton of older Marines drill that into me. Competition produces quality. And a lot of these young guys, they don't want to adapt. They have a defeatist mindset. Even when it comes to bitches, have a very defeatist mindset, and it just shows. It shows that they're low value. They just radiate that, man. Also, when it comes to women, I don't argue with women, but I export. I got stationed overseas in Japan, and I told them, like, hey, look, I'm not going to argue with you. I'll just get another bitch. And they were comfortable with that, man. And I have that same mentality still coming back into the States right now.
Very, very nice, man. DeAndre with a good call. Just like Myron said, Future says, bitch, don't get too comfortable. Very good.
You gotta run, man.
That's what goes. Next up, Quarantino DeGuad in Georgia. Quarantino, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother, man? Just want to commend you guys from doing y'all work and stuff like that. But I just want to hit on the topic. The reason why black women don't value black men is because they're used to getting things free, like social welfare programs, child support, and EBT. Then when a black man requires something out of her, it's confusing to her because she's not used to having to work for shit in her life. And she's used to just bringing her sexuality into the equation. And a lot of men will grovel to that. Whereas if you're a high value man or working to be a high value man, the woman must grovel to you. She must convince you to allow her to be a part of your life. And just like Myron said, these women listen to entertainers and talk shit about the same black men that they're laid up with and afraid to lose.
Wow, very good, man. Quarantino to God actually drops pretty good rock solid knowledge.
Shout out to Quarantino. He's a YouTuber.
Very, very
Shout
good.
out to
Okay,
him.
next up we got Red Pill Mike in Texas. RPM, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? Hey, I missed the very beginning of the show, but I caught it right when you had the super chatter who said not everybody can make 120K, and then it turned into a big discussion. And only thing I was going to say was, that's anybody that's listening for advice on how to be successful and get the blueprint handed to them, and then their instant response is, well, not everybody can. Well, then take success out of your vocabulary, because everybody I've ever known that replied that way couldn't do anything. They never achieve anything. There might be certain things that at a certain point in your life where you don't have everything you want, but it's because that's where it's supposed to be now. You're not supposed to get it until you work for it. Ooh. And if you're just going to just sit where you're at idly and look at the circumstances that you're facing you now, currently, and go, well, because of these circumstances, I can't be successful, then you're never going to change that. And anyway, I think it's stupid. If Kevin Samuels is giving you a blueprint on success and you just want to argue, you don't want to be successful. You don't want the knowledge. You don't want the tools. And stop wasting everybody's time, and don't even super chat at that point.
Hey, yo, Mike, dude, Myron here, bro. Thank you so much for your support, bro. You're always supporting, dude. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to hear a whiner. So, I mean, anyway, you guys love what you're doing, and I'll drop off here.
Awesome, man.
Thank you, man.
Red Pill Mike. Red Pill Mike is always dropping the knowledge, and Red Pill Mike is always supporting, man. That's why,
man. Thank you so much, bro. You really be supporting. We see you.
Yeah, hey, real talk. Red Pill Mike and Technomage B5 have that lifetime pass to all of my present and future courses, man. Very, very well deserved.
Yeah, Technomage as well.
Up next, we have Efo in Atlanta. Efo, what's up, man?
Been good. So, how much money does a man need to make to be relationship with a hot girl?
Okay, so Efo in Atlanta wants to know, how much does a man need to make to get with hot girls? Let's go around. I'm setting him up. Let's go to Mr. Lucario first. How much does a man need to make to be able to bang hot rods?
$0. Okay, this guys, don't get it confused, man. Y'all keep confusing this shit sometimes. Listen. You don't need any money to bang hot girls. You understand? If you need money to bang hot girls, that goes into trick category. You understand what I'm saying? Now, can you buy an escort and buy hot girls to be on your arm and do all of that other shit and be at different things? Yes, you can, but you don't need that if you have game. So if you have no game, then yeah, your I guess game would be to buy the chicks with the money. But if you do have game, you don't need any money. Listen, I was banging hot chicks when I was living at home, broke, sharing a bedroom with my brother. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why I don't get where and see I was stupid back then because there were women that I was banging who were millionaires and I didn't take advantage of that opportunity because I was like 21, 22. But either way, I was having sex with these hot ass millionaires in my room that I used to share with my brother. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just that's just for you guys out there that think you need money to bang hot girls. You know what I'm saying?
You got, man. Listen, Steve, you had the most adverse reaction on the panel. Like you damn near knocked over your computer. What's going on, Steve? Man, what's on your mind, bro?
I'm gonna tell them how much you need. You need 4 chickens, 3 rocks, and 2 seashells, motherfucker. What the fuck are you talking about with that silly shit? Look, man, like Lucario's saying, man, I was making $4.35 at Kids Kingdom, and that was a raise. I had an apartment. I had to take 2 buses to get to work because I had to save money on my job, eating hamburger helper, fucking ramen noodles and fucking Fruity Pebbles out of a plastic fucking cup. But that didn't stop, like Kakario was saying. And just because I wasn't making the money didn't mean the bitches didn't give me the key and say, drop her off at work. And you go about your day and pick me up at lunchtime and pick me up at the end of the day. The problem you have is you ain't gonna bang motherfucking bitches because your mindset is weak as fuck. Your pussy is tighter than a woman's. You are always making it about fucking beautiful women. Why don't you be a beautiful fucking man first? put down the chickens, the fucking rocks, and the seashells, and fucking come over here across the street and be with some fucking men.
Damn.
God damn.
Okay, so what you're saying is, Solo, how much money does a man need to make to fuck out bitches? Efo in Atlanta wants to know how much money does.
Well, you need about 9 million, and then maybe after taxes. So then you got to pay your accountant. No, fuck all that. See, if that's the question in your mind, then you already lost, dog. Because here's the thing, like when you have to think, okay, what do I need to bang hot chicks? You don't have the confidence, because even if you get that money, you still probably wouldn't be able to bang that hot chick. If let's say you get 120 grand a year. So you got to be in that mindset of, that you can do it. Like in regards to, I'm not trying to sound preachy, but you got to have a positive mindset. Now, if you're trying to be around hot chicks in a social circle on some like Kevin shit or on some shit that I'm going to be on after this shit, then you're probably going to need to make a little bit of money, or you need to know the people, whatnot. But to bang hot chicks, what you need is a crispy mouthpiece, because when you're able to, lace them with that little GME, that's how it's supposed to be, right? PIMP. So you got to have a crispy mouthpiece. Number 2, make sure you fly. I'm sorry, Kevin, I didn't wear the suit today. And number 3, I mean, the money helps. I'm not going to deny that. But if you're thinking, well, I'm gonna bang chicks just with my money, then you might as well leave 200, 300, 400 or however much on the table and get you a call girl, bro.
Wow, very good. Jap, how much Efo in Atlanta wants to know how much money it takes to bang hot broads?
All right. First and foremost, the question is terrible. Like, to ask a question like that would be to assume that these bitches actually have standards. And they actually stand by their standards. Why do you think it's so many gorgeous bitches out here with babies by idiots? You know what I'm saying? Babies by broke motherfuckers, babies by fat motherfuckers, babies by ugly motherfuckers. They don't have standards like you think that they have. So for you to think that you have to have a certain amount of money to fuck a bitch, that's stupid. These bitches are dumb. First of all, they're never going to be smarter than a real man. You know what I'm saying? Because they think with their emotions. They fuck with their emotions. You know what I'm saying? They don't fuck who they should be fucking. They fuck, you know what I'm saying, who they want to fuck. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a crisp mouthpiece and you can, it's so many times that people talk their way in the pussy. Like I had this argument with people all the time. They don't believe that you could talk your way in the pussy. And I'm like, that's crazy. Because if you could talk your way out of some pussy, you definitely could talk your way into some. So as long as you got a mouthpiece and you know how to keep a conversation going and shit like that, it's really no requirement of money that you have to have, because bitches are getting pregnant and attaching themselves permanently to broke motherfuckers every day. You know what I'm saying? So that just dispels the whole, again, these bitches don't have standards. Even if they profess it, they'll never stand firm and actually do what they say. They always are being for the right motherfucker. 2 Long Islands, she like you or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm celibate for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? You get a bitch, you fly the bitch a one-way ticket and she fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's just how it goes.
Myron, Efo in Atlanta wants to know how much money does it take to fuck these hot broads? Now, listen, you're down there in Miami. There's hot fucking there's big titty, big booty, fucking Caribbean bitches all around. How much money does it take to fuck those broads, man?
First of all, about this question, I got to just say this.
Are you dumb?
Because the reality is this, bro. Yo, your mindset's already messed up, bro. Because you got to understand this. Me and Lucario talk about this all the time on his streams, man. If you lead with your wallet, you're going to take an L, man. You cannot lead with your wallet with these chicks. Now, if she finds out you got some money later, that's going to be much better. As me and Donovan always say as well, discovery trumps disclosure, man. So this is what I say. Make enough money so that you're comfortable first. Once you're comfortable and you have some expendable income, then you can go to the nicer spots where the hot girls are at. You know what I mean? Because let's keep it real, especially if you're like in a place like Miami, New York City, LA, the best looking chicks are going to be at the top end clubs, and you're going to have to basically get through that paywall to get in there and meet these girls. Because if that's the reality, you know what I mean? The most beautiful women get into these places for free. So you're going to have to put yourself in alignment so that you can even talk to them. But with that said, bro, if you lead with your wallet, you're going to take an L every single time, because if you do, even if the girl fucks with you because you have money, it's gonna be terrible sex. It's gonna be transactional. She's not gonna respect you. It's just not gonna be good. So you got to do the work, bro. You got to get attractive, right? Get your teeth straightened and whitened. Get in the gym. Take care of yourself. Actually, be physically appealing, right? Then put yourself in a space where you can talk to these women and actually be attractive, and don't be a social retard. And you know what I'm saying? And then communicate with the woman, and she's gonna like you, bro. It's as simple as that. But whatever you do not lead with your wallet, bro. Because especially in these major cities, these girls are vultures. They will take you to the cleaners if you lead with the wallet. So
smell blood. They can smell blood.
All right, Kevin. So Efo in Atlanta, Kevin, wants to know how much money does it take to fuck these hot bitches out here?
I'm gonna give it something from a completely different point of view. All right.
Oh, there it is.
This is Eros of Dallas.
Okay.
This is where you can go find premium verified escorts in Atlanta.
Oh, there you go.
So if you actually do what Myron said, go to these clubs, such and so forth, where all these hot women are, if you go in there with nothing on your arm, you'll leave with nothing on your dick. But if you actually go in there with a woman that they actually know and respect, somebody hot, you actually increase your social proof. You can actually increase your opportunities of possibly stumbling upon hot chicks when you walk in with a hot chick. Now, can you afford her hourly rate is a question. The bottom line is women like this cost in call $500, out call $750 per hour.
Damn.
$750 per hour. So I've often talked about how walking into a place with a beautiful high-end escort,
that's right,
can actually do something for you, and it is a far more secure bet than actually think you can go out here and use the little bit of game that you sound like you don't have, or a little bit of money that you don't have to get out here and play in the real world, because all these other things, these women are vultures. They will take guys who try to lead with their money first. So bottom line is, book a session with one of the guys on the panel and learn how to put something in place for you to have a better outcome for life, and leave hot chicks where they are, because hot chicks are more problem than honestly they're worth for most guys.
Hot chicks are absolutely for the street. They
man.
absolutely belong to the game. Fuck them. Do not commit to them. Before we get to the next, real quick, actually. So Evo in Atlanta, did that? It looks like we went around the panel. Did that answer your question?
I told about relationship.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Hot girls are for the streets.
What did he say?
He said, no, I was talking about relationships, but he said how much girls. So
really quick. I just want to say this, guys. We did an episode on dealing with dimes, top end girls, basically women that get paid to look the way they do. It's on everyone here's Patreon. I just want to tell you guys this, man. Dimes are a waste of time. Like, I'm just going to say it straight up, because if you deal with like the top end chicks, a lot of the time it's going to give you more of a headache than it's worth, man. Kevin's 100% right with dealing with the top end girls.
Temporary and recreational.
And listen,
it's not your pussy, it's your turn. You're not going to have that bitch for very long. Enjoy it less.
And this was a lesson I had to learn many, many times in Vegas. Guys, I dated 6 strippers. I managed to talk my way into getting strippers who are in the top 1% of looks in the world to commit to your boy. All 6 of them, without exception, cheated on me. And you want to know something? I'm thinking at least 2 of those bitches, I was probably the side nigga. I thought I was in the relationship. They were fucking me on the side. Hot girls are awesome to fuck. They're awesome to see with, and this and that and the other. But these bitches are for the streets. Do not get that twisted. James Young with the $50 super chat says a strong mindset opens up a lot of doors. A weak mindset keeps you where you are. Very, very well said. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. Let us go to David in Austin. David in Austin, you're on live with the 7. Go ahead.
Hey, how y'all doing on the panel?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm Mr. Pirate Green in the chat.
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. What I wanted to mention, I was talking earlier to a black female, 45 years old with 2 kids. Okay, we've been friends for a while. And she was telling me about her problem with men. And my advice to her was to start dating men 65 years. You know, look at men 65 years old because they're gonna look at you as a sweet young thing. You keep messing with men your age with 2 kids, it ain't gonna work out.
Probably.
And she did the same thing that woman did on Kevin Samuel's show. She just kept deflecting. I was like, okay, enough. I said what I had to say.
You're lying.
It's amazing.
You're lying.
Yeah,
Oh, he just dropped off.
He's lying. He's lying. My question is, why the fuck are you on the phone with a chick for that amount of much of time who ain't sucking your dick? Why are you sitting around? Why are you sitting around playing footsies and cuddle parties with a chick with 2 kids, knowing she giving the pussy up faster? Why are you sitting there trying to be her living boyfriend or her buddy and all that other shit? Man, that's the problem, man. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't,
man.
Dude, stop lying, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry, guys. I just hate the bullshit, man. I hate when these motherfuckers. Oh, well, I got a friend, bitch. We can't be friends with women. Men and women can't be friends. Fuck you talking about?
Nope. Listen, the only time I associate with women is for one of 3 reasons. I'm trying to fuck her, I am fucking her, or I have fucked her. That's it. I don't have female friends. The only female friends I have are my 2 sisters. That's it. That's it. That's let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to Judge Dre in Cleveland. Judge Dre in Cleveland. What's going on, brother? You're on live with the 7.
How you doing?
Doing good.
What I'll say is this: the reason why black women actually fail and stuff at the relationships and everything else is because they're fucking lazy. Laziest women in the fucking world. And how you sit up here and say, well, wow, they might have jobs and all. Think about it. When you go out to restaurants or when you go to any customer service or anything, they're always the ones bullshitting. They're always the ones who give you the worst service when you go out and don't expect to be fired. They're fucking lazy. Relationships require work. Going to the gym to lose weight requires work. That's why you don't see them there. Damn. That's what it is. Lazy. You put that number one thing, lazy. Put that in it. I'm gonna leave it short. That's what it is. They're lazy.
Very good. Appreciate the call, Judge Dre. Appreciate that. Devin
on that one.
The words of encouragement. Okay, let's go to Javier in California. Javier in California. You're on live at the 7. What's up?
What's up, guys? How are you doing?
We're doing good.
All right. First of all, thank you for all your hard work. Like, it helps a lot of guys. It helps me. So my question is, I'm a guy. I'm pretty much starting new. I just came to the States this year.
Okay. How long have you been in the States, Javier? How long have you been in the States?
Just this year.
Oh, wow.
At the beginning of this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically the question is, at the beginning of this year, I met a guy. I want to be a conceptual artist.
Okay.
So I met a guy that has been working on that for like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know, like, what can I do? What kind of value I can provide to him to, like, get him to mentorship me?
Well, let me ask you this. Listen, that's a very, very good question. Let me ask you this, Javier. What are some things that you are good at? Are you good with your hands? Do you have millwright skills? What kind of skills do you have?
I'm really good at drawing and design.
Okay.
I'm actually I'm right now applying for a full scholarship on a school in LA.
Okay. Whoa, what the hell is that? What I would advise you to do, Javier, is anytime you want to you'd like to get the advice or to earn sort of an apprenticeship, what I would do if I were you is to take all of your skills. If you're good at fixing things, if you're good at drawing, find out what the person actually wants and needs and let them know, look, I have a skill that I can help you with. I can bring value to your life. If I do XYZ for you, I would like to have an apprenticeship. This is exactly what Kevin was talking about earlier. If you want the time and attention of high value men who can elevate your life, you're going to have to offer them something in return. And the best way to offer them something in return, of course, is to do something for them. I mean, do something labor intensive, whatever the case may be. Barter your skills for the opportunity to be an apprentice, to sort of do an unofficial apprenticeship. Does anybody else have anything on that? That's the best I could come up with.
No, actually, yeah. Offering value is always offering value and with no expectation.
Okay,
that's always going to be the thing.
Okay.
There's a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vee. Read that. It's a great way of actually getting guys who are upstream from you to actually possibly pay you some attention.
Okay, very good, excellent, very well said. And right, add value with no expectation. That's probably the best thing to do. Last call of the evening. I think it's either Jarrell or Marcel. Jarrell or Marcel in North Carolina. What is your name? Is it Jarrell or is it Marcel?
It's Jarrell.
Jarrell, what's going on, Jarrell? How you doing, man?
So, good to hear from you fellas. I'm learning. I've actually learned more than I thought I would. I've been listening to you, Donovan, for a while, listening to Kevin. My question is, I've gotten complacent because, like one of the weak callers you had, I thought I was high quality because I was smashing chicks, but really I'm a 6'5" black guy with abs.
Okay.
So that's so my question is what was that? Oh, as far as me becoming a high quality male, I heard about rich people have 5 to 6 different sources of income. I'm about to start a job in sales.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out what are some other means of income that I should look into right now at 31 years of age.
Okay, wow, this is a very good question. So Jarrell wants to know, he's getting a sales job. He understands that men with high income, high net worth always has 5 or 6 streams of income. So he wants to know, hey, what kind of things can you do to have other streams of income? Jap, what you got, man?
I would definitely say real estate. Get yourself an income property. That $1,200-$1,300 every month residual, it adds up. You add more money to your salary every month, and then you're building wealth. Your tenants are paying it down. Eventually, that'll be a part of your retirement. You know what I'm saying? As residual, if you can keep running it. Insurance, that's little side hustles like that. Uber, believe it or not, I mean, working a full-time job, and you got 4 or 5 hours on the weekend or something like that, free time. You go make about $200-$300 on the weekend. If you did it 4 times, that's an extra $800 a month. You added that in with your income property, you might be able to come in with an extra $2,000 on top of your salary. Now you got a little bit of play money to stack, and then go invest in something bigger and just make your money grow. But little side hustles and things like that.
Excellent. Good advice there. Steve, what do you got?
All right. Yeah, I got a few things for you, man. First off, like Jap said with Uber, that's good. Another thing is Instacart. That's something you might want to look into, or Amazon Flex. That's something that you want to look at. Amazon Flex. You can make a lot of cake and a lot of money by doing that. So just you gotta, but instead of understanding the job part, you've got to set your mind to understand that when you have your own business or you start your own business, it's going to be more work that you're going to do than you were working your 9-to-5 job. Understand that. You're going to be on the clock 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, and on Sunday. So you got to be prepared for that. That means your sleep. What is it? I don't even know what sleep is. You're 2 or 3 hours of sleep. That's it. You got to always be on your motherfucking grind. And remember, things didn't happen to you. As a man, you say, I allowed those things to happen. Once you begin to do that, you're on your way, brother. But I hope you wish you the best of luck.
10 seconds.
Very good advice. I would also say this, Jarrell. Did anybody have anything else?
Oh, one quick thing. Becoming a notary, mobile notary, they have those in some states, and that's easy money. You just pay $100, depending on the state, and get your certificate or qualifications. And then you can do notaries all over the place and get paid. It's easy money. Very easy.
Good.
I have something for it.
Yeah, go ahead, Kev. What you got?
All right. He said he was about to start a job in sales, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm 31 years old. 31 years old.
Because I had a career in sales, I'm going to go to complete different tack.
Okay.
You need to get a job part-time at a Quick Trip 7-Eleven or someplace is going to make you some extra money that you can work for 3 or 4 hours a day, maybe additional 10 to 20 hours a week. Take that money and invest in becoming a professional salesperson. Most people call themselves salespeople, and you are not a salesperson like I am, or the guys like me. The best way to increase your money is increase your your level of quality appointments and your closing ratio. If you close 20% of sales by increasing from 20 to 30, you've just given yourself a 50% raise. And that's more than anything that any of us could do, exchanging hours for dollars.
Woo! I love it, man. I love it.
I got the job I'm getting now listening to somebody who said the exact thing you just said, Kev.
Good.
That's good shit right there.
And I got one thing.
Sandler Training. Sandler, Sandler. Sandler is a nationwide training facility. I talk about my first year in sales. I took $5,000 of my saving, of the money I made, of the 35 I made that year, and I invested, and I cleared 45 the next year and 78 the next.
There you go. Okay. Myron, what you got, man?
No, I was just gonna say, like, learn a high income skill, man. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, something where you can scale, where you're able to leverage your results versus leveraging time for money. Like, whether that's for me, it's fitness, right? Like doing fitness consulting, also helping guys out with, just being more attractive in general. It could be some kind of consulting, it could be copywriting, it could be coaching, whatever it may be, selling a course, whatever. These are ways that you can basically make money without necessarily trading time for money. You create a product and then you're paid on your results.
There you go.
And another thing I would say is, some people might not believe in it, but I think cryptocurrency is going to be the future, man. And, I would take at least 5 to 10% of your reserves, of your money. I know that's like a nice conservative amount, and put that into cryptocurrency, man. Bitcoin's been spiking this year, and ETH as well. So, you got to plan for the future, because it's going to get to a point where, cash is always going to be available, but we're slowly moving away from it. So, I'd plan it for the contingency. And here's the other thing: fiat currency at this point in time, man, like with the way the economy's going, you need to put your money in some kind of investment that's going to pay you back dividends. With inflation, everything else, you got to put your money into something that's going to make you money back.
Good stuff. Well said. And I would also add this.
Would you fellas say that?
Go ahead.
My bad, Donovan. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say, let me quickly.
You guys say,
there's a delay. Listen, let me quickly add on to what Jab said. Real estate is absolutely a great way to make money. I made a shit ton of money, but you have to be in the right market at the right time. And guess what? Because of the coronavirus, it is most definitely a buyer's market. Dude, there are homes on sale, at 30 and 40% discounts. I know this because I was out in Reno last month looking at 27 of them. So real estate is definitely legit in that regard. Something else that Steve said that you're definitely going to have to wrap your mind around. And this actually ties into what Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban said. He says entrepreneurs are the only people in the world who work 80 hours a week so they don't have to work 40. And truer words were never spoken. When you are your own boss, when you are writing your own ticket, what you're going to have to understand early on is that time is a commodity. Time is not going to be a commodity that you're going to have, or free time is not a commodity that you're going to have very much. So you're going to have to understand there's going to be some sacrifices as far as time. But if you stay the course, maybe at 51, now you can work a 10-hour work week and still be making a passive 6, maybe 7-figure income. So just understand, and you're still a young guy, you're only 31, so you've got the energy to do it. Just understand that you are going to have to invest time into this. What was your last question, caller? Go ahead.
I had one question, but I think you already answered it.
Okay.
But let me give you a good example of who I am basically. I heard somebody say fitness. I was selling fitness training in a gym. I was so good at it that me and the owner there started getting into it because I sold more training than anyone ever had, including him. He had the record and he set a standard, and I beat it, and he didn't want to give me a raise. So I ended up having to get up out of there. So now I'm going to work for a car dealership.
Okay.
So I heard somebody say high income skill. Would you consider selling cars a high income skill?
Listen,
great at it,
Jarrell, listen, I would consider selling cars a high income skill. I would also consider selling fitness at that level a high income skill, because right now fitness is a commodity. We just came out of the coronavirus. Everyone is packed on the quarantine 15. Dude, home gyms, fitness equipment, that stuff is, dude, you can't buy barbells or weights anymore. You go to the gyms now, they're packed out. People are looking for a solution. And if you are good at selling fitness, dude, I would do that on the side to supplement that car dealership.
Let me add something.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Now, as a sales guy, being a car salesperson, you can make, depending upon it's always going to depend upon the kind of vehicle you're selling.
Yes.
And that's no different than being a server. Serving at a high-end steakhouse versus serving at Denny's, different clientele.
You go.
But a high-end sales skill is somebody who can does not require somebody to make an action first. You only can sell when someone walks on the lot and they want to buy. An actual salesperson goes to a place and creates opportunity. I go to an area and I say, I have this product or service, and I'm going to go find a demand and sell to it, or create a demand and sell to it. That is a high-end skill that is completely transferable, whether you're working for somebody, a company, or your own business. Because at the end of the day, every business owner is a salesperson.
Wow, very good, man. This is all very good advice. I actually learned something. Any last thoughts, Jarrell, before we let you go and wrap up the show?
You'll give me a lot more ideas than I was actually expecting. While I'm on this, I heard you say 80 hours a week. Like I said, I've smashed enough hot shit, but while I'm doing this, let's say I focus on nothing but myself for the next 6 months to a year. You know, we all get the itch. What's the amount of females I need to have in my rotation? Like, what's the
no.
Delete.
Answer is 0, 0, 0, 0. Listen, here's the thing. Listen, Jarrell, I get it. I understand, man. Don't get me wrong. Men have needs. I will never advocate for masturbation, except for in now two situations. Number one, if you are about to make a financial decision and a woman is involved, masturbate twice, and then you will make the right decision. The second situation is the situation that you're in. If you're going to do a 6 month to a 3 year monk mode where you're not focusing on women at all, masturbate as much as you have to scratch that itch. I'm telling you right now, Jarrell. I'm telling you right now. Women, especially good-looking women, they will throttle you. If you spend any time on women whatsoever, you are going to halt your progress. Women are not necessary during this time, because trust me, when you get
really bad news for you, guy.
Yeah, what's that?
It ain't no 3 to 6 months to become a professional salesperson. It is a 24-month commitment minimum. 24 months. So either get real familiar with your right hand, find you a slump buster, go to one of these massage parlors, Asian tan, where they give a $60 half and half. But bro, you are going to be working your ass off. When I was a rookie salesperson, man, I was putting in 80 to 100 hours a week.
Easy. Yep, that's right. That's right.
Your dick's gonna be hard in the morning when you wake up, but bro, trust me, when you start really doing what you need to do, trust me, you got 24 months. If you do this 24 months right, you can set the rest of your life up. Because I've said this often: if black men are going to work for somebody else, one of the best things we can do is being in sales. It's the closest to owning your business that you can ever come to for working for somebody else, being in sales. And then the guys who don't have it in sales, being in HR. Because we can lead control the hiring decisions.
Ooh, very good. Very, very good questions there by Jarrell. Even better answers. Steve, what do you have on this?
Yeah, Jarrell, man, you got to get off of this 6 month, year type bullshit where you think that it's going to happen in 6 months.
Oh, no.
Being a man is a lifetime thing, number one. When I was working for Kirby Vacuum Cleaners selling this shit, guess what? When I'm outside my door, there are women everywhere, man. Don't make no excuse. A man must have balance, man. And you got to find balance. You can't just teeter to one thing, because eventually you're going to run into a woman. If you don't know what to say, how to text, or even work on that part of your life, you're going to fuck up and fail. as a man, everybody on this panel hustles. They got the hustle street mentality.
Right.
But what they also have is they got their hand in every goddamn cookie jar known that for them on their name, what they define themselves as. These guys are not just one-trick ponies. They are all things. That's why women gravitate to them. So I'm just saying to you, man, don't give me this, I want to do 6 months or a year. Fuck that. Your journey is a lifetime fucking journey, man.
Listen, I agree. And I'll use myself as an example. It took me 6 years to get to this point. Okay. For the first 4.5, 5 years, I wasn't making any money doing this. Right. But it took 6 years for me to get to this point. And here's the thing. If I hadn't fucked with so many women in Vegas, dude, honestly, I might be further along. I might actually be further along than I am now. I'm not saying that women are unnecessary when you're working on your purpose. When you are trying to build yourself up as a man, women are literally unnecessary. There is nothing that they can offer you unless they want to assist you in your endeavors, and it takes a long time to be able to get to that point. They have nothing to offer you. But you stay the course, you put in the time, you put in the effort, and when you come out the other side, you're not going to have to, well, how many women do I have in my rotation? The question you're going to be answering at that point is, how many women do I need to cut from my rotation?
Recreational use. The women, when you on your mission, they gotta be in the recreational use category.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? They're not priority. Your priority is getting your shit together. And then you can, once you get your shit together, you can enjoy what it's like having your shit together and then juggle bitches all day. But the problem with a lot of black men is they try to juggle bitches along the journey, and you're never gonna get there.
Car salesmen are notorious coos hounds, man. They either doing coca meth or drinking. They're going to strip clubs, making a lot of money. So I get it. It's a high burnout position. That's why I said take it for what it is. But if you actually learn how to become an actual professional salesperson, and you can avoid the pussy pitfalls and the drinking and the drugging, man, you can set yourself up for the rest of your life. But there are pitfalls on each side, and pussy's one of the biggest ones.
Let me say this real quick. Yo, if you look at a lot of the cities where the top earners, Miami, Austin, Texas, whatever, all of these cities have high gay populations. Why is that? Because gay men typically just earn a lot of money. Why is that? Because they don't have distractions of women, man.
It's true, Byron.
There's a reason why they make so much money. You know what I'm saying? They don't deal with chicks. And here's the thing. When they do need to get that relief, they deal with someone else on the same page that is all about it. Oh, where we get on Grindr. There's a reason why they're called gay, because they're always happy, bro.
Jack with the 25 Hong Kong dollars says 45-year-old chick Dougie Fresh said it best, and with your wrinkled up pussy, I can't
be a lover.
Or yes, I think Snoop Dogg actually said that. Well, Alton Prayer with the $10 super chat says having several streams of income is a must and is one of the best moves I made this year. Winners win and losers complain. And with that, that is going to bring this incredible episode of The Seven to a close. Guys, every time we do shows like this, we always end up saying that's the best show we ever did. I'm going to say it again. I think this is the best show we've ever done, man. I mean, this is just it. Dude, we have an incredible sense of brotherhood. We gave great advice. We roasted bitches. We roasted dudes. I think this was an all-around great show. Let me answer these last few super chats. Unique79, 5 British pounds says, and last but not least, a salute from all of us to the Magnificent Seven. Take a bow. Gentlemen, appreciate that. Greg Hislop, $5 says, they don't want to do the work, and they don't want to embrace the fear of leap to success. It's great. It makes high-value men rare and valuable. Absolutely. Real talk. Let us go around the panel one last time to give our closing salvos and our closing thoughts. Mr. Lucario, you fire first, brother.
All right, man. Yeah, just basically on that whole high value thing, man. Just understand that the value you give determines, if you're that high value guy. So if you're just sitting around doing nothing, complaining, bitching, moaning, you're not a high value dude. But if you're actually out there providing value, giving to people, making things happen, then you are that guy. And again, it doesn't have to be you got to have a lot of money, you got to have this, you got to have that, but it's just more so what's the value
well
you
said,
put out
Mr.
there,
Lucario.
you know what I'm saying?
Steve the Dean Williams, what are your closing thoughts on tonight's show?
Love the motherfucking chat room dogs in there. Love the panel of men that's on here. Everybody gets a trophy. Not a trophy. I'm sorry, a belt. Everybody gets the belt, not a trophy, motherfucker. Right. Guys, I want to just say to everyone that's listening out there, please subscribe and support the movement of these men right here that are on this panel, because everything they're doing it for you. And last but not least, I do want to say that guys, when it comes to your values and all this other stuff, just remember this. If you're thinking it, do it, but not just do it. You got to learn how to own it. You got to learn how to stand by it. You got to learn how to fight for that shit and die for that shit. When you like that, that's when whatever you're thinking you want is really going to come to life. Thank you.
Stuff, man. Very well said. Kevin, you're up next.
Well, thanks, man. Appreciate being on the panel, man. This high value thing, like I said, I didn't make it. I didn't create it. And it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And here's the thing. All at high value, regardless if you agree with my definition and expanded definition, all it does is give a man more options. It just gives you more options. You want more options in life, increase your value. But if you are content with your options in life, you're content with your value, cool. That's all it does. Now, options only gives you what? An opportunity, a shot. No guarantees. There are no guarantees. And honestly, guys, that's all you can really ask for is an opportunity. If you get a chance to go holler at this or close this deal or do this thing, hey, man, at least you got a shot. It's up to you to make the most of those shots. Thanks a lot.
Very good. Very well said, Kevin. Myron, you're up next.
Hey, man, just want to say thank you for having me on the panel. As always, Donovan. Guys, I just made a Patreon. Me and my boy, CEO, we're going to be giving you guys like gems, like as far as like how to like deal with the hottest chicks. Obviously, we're here in Miami. We're in the game. You know how it is with these chicks out here. So yeah, the patreon.com/freshfit. We just launched it. We just filmed 2 videos today that are going to be uploaded very soon. And yeah, man, we're just going to be cranking out exclusive content that we can't put out on YouTube because obviously, they censor everything that we do nowadays. So yeah, man, that's all. And thank you for having me. This was a great show, man. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, man. I think he's the VIP for tonight, bro.
Yeah, listen, Kevin is definitely the VIP. This is right up his alley.
Came with the PowerPoints and everything.
Hey, straight up. But you didn't answer the question, Kevin. What the
She's on her way over here right now. That's the answer.
Lucario, Jesus Christ, Lucario. Solo, you're up next. Fire away.
All right, guys. So listen, in the journey to becoming your best self, to becoming a high value man, if you're not there yet, it's okay. But stop having these limited beliefs about you need X amount of money or you can't achieve that type of money, because your words have power. You can manifest things by speaking them into existence. And when you do that, when you speak negative things into existence, then you start to boggle yourself down because you start to believe that bullshit. So recognize that you want to be positive. I know it sounds cheesy, but I'm being honest, because if you don't believe in yourself that you can get to that 100K, why would anybody else? So you got to believe in yourself first before you achieve it. You know what I mean? To believe it, you got to achieve it. To achieve it, you got to believe it. Okay. And then number 2, listen, you guys follow me on Instagram. If you want to see some snow bunnies tonight and tomorrow, Solo TV 84. Instagram, YouTube, Solo TV 84. I'll show you how to do the social circle game, social proof, and I'm out. Peace.
All right. Good stuff. Very, very well said. And last, and certainly not least, Minister Jab, what you got, man?
All right. So to conclude this, will sisters win back high value black men? And right now, under the state of the condition that they're in right now, no. We are winning. The black man right now is winning right now. They have set themselves up because they devalued themselves. Back in the 90s, me and Kev, we were talking about this. We got more streams coming. But in the 90s, black women were winning, and they brought that attitude all the way up until now. But now there's a paradigm shift, and it's a lot of guys right now winning. Even my plumbers, my truck drivers, my blue collar guys, they're high value when it comes to black women, because black women are so low value right now. Yes. Just being an average man in this state that we're in right now, you can literally just run through black women. because their standards are so low, and they don't want to measure up to anything of high standard. Even when they try to go out and get white men, they're getting bottom of the barrel white men. They're not getting higher white men. So wherever they decide to go, they're gonna realize that they're low tier. It's kind of like when you park a Chrysler 300 and you bring the Chrysler 300 through the hood, and everybody's like, God damn, this shit is nice. Until you bring a Rolls Royce Wraith and you put that group right in front of them. That's what Black women are doing when they leave the Black community and realize what being a woman is, the real community. And then when guys, us Black men, we set ourselves up for success and we don't devalue ourselves and we go amongst those circles and we see, okay, this 300C just came around a bunch of Bentleys. I think I want to go with the Bentley, and the Bentley is real luxury, not this fake fixed up luxury. So the Black woman right now is losing to the logical Black man, and they're hating it. They hate me. They hate Kev. They hate Donovan. They hate Solo. You know what I'm saying? He keeps a white bitch. They hate Lucario and they hate Steve. But we're going to win and continue to keep our foots on your neck with success. So God bless you, your misery. Continue to bask in the losing that you're doing, and we're going to continue to win. And I'm use condoms and never get y'all pregnant.
Yo, that nigga said we're gonna keep our foots on your neck. Like Mike drop.
Oh shit.
With one last $50 that says success and congruence is the exact amount of value you need to bang hot chicks. Without a strong frame, your money will not minimize the smell of weakness. Wow. Another red pill gem dropped by Red Pill Mike. Shout out to Devin with the $5 super chat. Bitch, you could have just gave me that $5.
I know that's right.
What the fuck is this all about? Now I gotta split that $5 with these niggas. Devin with the $5 super chat says, great show tonight. Gentlemen, this was a dynamite show. These shows are getting better and better. Shout out to my Sharpe stream guys. Those are my patrons. You guys are the main reason why we are here. We will see you guys right back here. Same bat time, same bat channel, new fire episode, and we are out.